Well, we're delighted that Diamond, Apollo and Comet join us now ahead of the semi-finals this weekend. Good morning to you all.
Morning.
It's really funny because I saw you downstairs and you weren't in your outfit.
Not in costume, no.
And then you suddenly seen you out and it all comes to life. It's so exciting. Liv, Diamond, lovely to see you again.
Yeah.
How has the reaction to this series been since we saw you at the start of the series?
Amazing. As you can imagine, people are just absolutely loving it. They're loving Series 2. So excited, the amount of messages that we get, and when we see people in the street, out shopping, everything, the response is just absolutely lovely, as usual, and people just want more as well, which is great.
Yeah, we had Bradley and Barney on, didn't we, the other day, and they were talking about how the feeling in the stadium is just amazing.
Yeah.
Can you feel that from the fans too? And what's the reaction like when you see kids out on the street?
Oh, just wonderful. Different reactions. Some are really, really shy, and then when you leave, you can see them jumping up and down, and it's wonderful. But we did appearance at Blue Water a couple of weekends ago, and it was just so wonderful seeing all the fans, and they waited for so long to see us. So, but we just wanted to give back.
7 hours?
7 hours.
Wow, but because there was just so many of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And they cut the door off at 10 a.m, so it would have been going all night probably.
Yeah. 100%.
Wow, that's amazing.
But all the little faces and everything, all the posters they were making. There was even a few there was one in Diamond outfit as well. It was wonderful. Yeah.
Oh.
And we didn't see a lot of you last year because you got yourself injured.
Yeah, I injured myself really early on, which was just so gutting. But the team were just amazing, and all I had in my mind was Season 2, I've got to make it for that. And not only did I have to then recover from that injury, but I also then had to have the gladiator training on top to get back to peak fitness. So it was such a huge year for me. But I'm just so grateful to be in this position, and it was just nice to have a full season under my belt.
Was it hang tough that you fell really badly?
Yes,
and
it was.
Oh, I think this was is this the moment? Or you're going to have to... we're going to have to relive this. So you had to do it again this year. What was it like going back and doing it again with those memories?
Yeah, I mean, so actually after that, I had to stand up and do an interview, so no one actually knew that I was injured. So I kind of forward-rolled myself off of the mat and stood next to Bradley and did a chat, so no one knew. And then it was only when I got backstage that I was like, guys, I need a medic. But getting back up again was scary, and I was going through a process in my head, and it took me a little bit longer to get the contender down because I was kind of like, my legs aren't working here. OK, now I'm going to go one arm, then I'm going to go 2 arms, and you just go, I'm going to go for it.
Apollo, now there's obviously competitiveness between you and the competitors, obviously, but there also seems to be a little bit of rivalry. There's Viper and there's Legend. What's going on between all the gladiators?
Well, look, there's a lot of big egos in the team, right? And there's sometimes...
Is this the biggest there? Is that what you're saying?
Biggest ego.
Going to beat Legend.
Yeah, it's sometimes you just got to put people in check. You know what I mean? And there's a bit of that coming up. So make sure you guys tune in
this weekend.
What's happening? Give us a...
I can't give you too much. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm already being told by my PR agent, don't say too much. I'm the one that gets in trouble for all this stuff. So
all the time.
Don't stop now.
No.
Don't stop now.
I don't know. I'm not here to get anyone in trouble.
So let's not talk about the fighting between the gladiators, but can we talk about the romance between the gladiators?
What are you referring to?
A little bit of something going on between you and...
Reams, all that.
You're going to make these two jealous. So
there was a little shot in the locker room. You and Sabre. What's the story behind this?
Hey, look. Apollo doesn't kiss and tell, all right, guys. So there's not a lot to say. We are great friends. She's an amazing woman, just like all the other gladiators are. But to everyone at home, Apollo is still in business. So, Kat, you've still got a chance.
Apollo's still in business.
You too as well, mate. I'm not...
Yeah,
I'll try.
It's growing. The ego's growing.
Oh, my goodness. It's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
The ego. The ego.
Yeah, well, you said it.
What about the contenders this season?
They were tough.
Yeah.
They've definitely upped their game, and I feel like because they saw it last year, they've kind of gone away and trained as well. So everyone's just levelled up, and they're coming fierce and feisty.
Yeah, the semi-finals this weekend is a big one. So you've got Xavier and you've got Anelia as well, and they're both amazing contenders. They really do bring it, so it's going to be a good show.
Yeah. Didn't one of them break one of the gladiators' records already as well? I thought one of them did the
we've had a couple of guys break the travel record. Sorry, the eliminator record.
Yeah, the eliminator.
That was getting broken week on week. I mean, that's how exciting the show's been.
By the contenders.
Yeah.
So
wow, so they really did up the game then.
Yeah, all four of the guys, all four of the girls that have made it to the semi-finals this year, probably would have been good enough to go and win it last year.
Wow.
So we've taken a step up, definitely. It's been great.
Well, we
Amazing.
can't wait to watch it. Can't wait.
We've loved it.
Gladiators continues this Saturday at 5:50 on BBC One and BBC iPlayer.
Thank you all for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you for visiting our
Dublin's
this morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
On World Autism Day, Sally joins us now. Good morning,
Good morning, Sally.
Thank you.
We went straight into chatting about just how much we love this series and how it's just a breath of fresh air and just a delightful comedy.
I'm so pleased.
I'm
so pleased.
fun.
I think the idea for it was Ben Miller and Darren Ashton, who's the Australian director. All of Australia and indeed the world fell in love with Michael on Love on the Spectrum.
Yes.
And he was looking unsuccessfully for love. And they thought, is there a world in which we can do a comedy show where he finds love? And so that's the sort of arc over a few series if we manage to do them. And he's acting for the first time and he's absolutely brilliant.
I couldn't believe it. I watched Love on the Spectrum, which, if you haven't seen Love on the Spectrum, it's lots of young, neurodivergent people who are trying to find girlfriends or boyfriends.
Girls and boys.
Girls and boys,
Yeah.
mixture. And you watch them on this extraordinarily charming, fascinating journey. And he was one of the characters that emerged that you're all so drawn to. You're desperate for him to find love, all of them to find love. And then watching him in this, Sally, I had no idea he'd never acted before.
No. And what's really fascinating is that his mum said he kind of learned to talk by watching cartoons. So he would sit and watch cartoons and repeat, do impressions.
What the characters were saying.
Yeah. And so rather than being parents saying, you mustn't watch any telly, they were like, oh, I think this is really good.
Yeah.
And then he would use the sentences from cartoons and communicate with those. So use the things that he'd learned that Master Shifu had said or whoever it was. And he still does a great Master Shifu impression.
From Kung Fu Panda.
From Kung Fu Panda, yeah.
We've got boys, so we know these things.
Yeah.
How much... So Ben and yourself, you go back many years at university together.
Yes.
You've been trying to work together many years. But how much of Michael's lived experience sort of drove what his behaviour was and his character was doing?
It totally formed it, really. And I think Michael... I mean, what's great is I feel like when you watch this, you go, oh, hang on, in these 70s, 80s and 90s, we had people pretending to be autistic for comic effect. Whereas now we've got Michael, where the autism is it just comes for free and he's released to play a full human being. He's not just acting the disability.
Yeah.
And so he felt quite strongly that, young Sheldon... There was a portrayal of autism in the media where people were selfish and ungenerous and didn't have emotions and didn't care for other people. And he's incredibly caring. So he really steered the way the character was formed and where the stories came about. And all of us kind of improvised our lines. So I think the characters...
Really?
To some extent.
Yeah.
To some extent, yeah. So... I don't know, I think it's just it's been a really interesting way of working. A British comedy meeting Australian comedy and hopefully becoming more grounded for that.
It's so much fun to watch, and you just fall in love with Michael. You can't help it.
Not.
You can't help it.
And that's partly because he's completely undefended.
Yes, there's no facade, is there?
No, he just brings all of himself to it. And, it's incredibly touching and also makes him quite vulnerable, I guess. So
yes.
At the end of it, he was very, very upset because he'd been very, powerfully immersed in this virtual world where he had a new dad and stepmum and a sister and it made us realise, of course, it's a really weird thing we do, that we go in and we live this alternative life for a bit and then we just drop it and move on.
Yeah, but I mean, his character, obviously, Austin, is the central character, but then there's your guys' characters as well that kind of revolve around
I feel like
it,
we're
and
the
you're really
egg
funny.
cup. We're the egg cup for Austin. So he's the star. It's really about him. It's a young man trying to find out who he is, find out what his identity really is. He's never known who his dad is. And it turns out it's Ben Miller's character, Julian, who is a children's book author, and I'm his wife. So we're a children's book author-illustrator pair. And we're averagely talented, but for some reason our books have become very successful. And we're on a book tour out to Australia.
Okay.
And at this point, his mother tells him, well, actually, you weren't a sperm donor conception. This was your dad. And he turns up and meets us.
And then there was a twist in it as well, where it was right as your relationship started as well.
Exactly. So Julian, Ben, was unfaithful to me right at the beginning of the relationship. So from my point of view, it was a fascinating thing to act because he was unfaithful right at the beginning of the relationship, before we got married.
Yes.
But there is this son, so he has been unfaithful, but we've had a very successful marriage ever since. 28 years of successful marriage.
Yes.
But it just creates a fissure in the relationship that gets wider and wider over series 1 and 2.
And there's a little bit of professional trauma as well, because Ben's character has retweeted something about free speech, but turns out that actually it was a white supremacist that he's retweeted. So he's being cancelled at the same time.
And so then because Ben is allergic to being worthy, and so Ben's character is... he meets this son for the first time and has zero interest in getting to know him as a human being, but realises that the fact that he's autistic might work well for him in getting rehabilitated after this cancellation.
Yes.
So we get to know each other, but him for all the wrong reasons. And so, you know, Austin is this sweet,
catalyst
trusting...
for so much in it
Yes,
as well.
exactly.
You've got 3 boys, all divergent, neurodivergent in some way or other, of course. And I'd imagine that sort of a character like Austin will be really important for them to see. Ollie, particularly, who everybody will know.
Ollie hero worships Michael, so Michael came to stay with us. And Ollie really loves... Well, I actually really luck out with my on-screen kids. I have never had a dud. I'm so lucky. So I really do have the best on-screen kids. And Ollie really loves meeting them. So Ollie, who has Down syndrome and autism himself, loves Michael. And, yeah, he's a real role model for him.
Yeah.
Michael doesn't have an intellectual disability, whereas Ollie does. But for Ollie to see people like Michael making it on TV and being charming, that's massive. And I think, you know, just think what was so interesting for us is we were, you know, mentally thinking is this going to be a big deal? Is Michael going to have loads of, you know, sensitivities, auditory sensitivities? Is it going to be a real problem? And the news was there was no news. It was exactly the same as working with anybody else.
Brilliant.
And when we came to the UK, we tried to have a mainly neurodiverse crew.
Right.
And the news there was it was exactly the same as working with a crew that didn't identify as neurodiverse. So it's just not such a big deal.
Love it.
That's the...
Which is exactly how it should be.
Which is exactly how it should be.
Exactly how it should
Yeah.
be. I started watching Bridget Jones, the latest one, last night. I didn't get all the way through because I was going to bed early. But it's so good. It won't be the last, will it?
Well, I've always been completely wrong. My predictions have been wrong. So after the first one, I said, no, I think that's it. I think it's done.
Really?
And we did number two. And the number 2 is not my favourite, and lots of people's not favourite. So people said, will there be another one? And I said, I don't think so. I think that's it. And then there was a third one. And people said, will there be another one? I said, no, that really is done now.
Yeah.
She's married Mark Darcy now.
Yeah.
And there's a fourth one. So now I would say, no, there's not going to be another one, because surely that was the end. I mean, that was the intention. This was the last one. But it has been the most successful. So...
Do you think this is the best one, Sally?
I think it's great.
Well, what I love being older is that the love in the film is not just romantic love. It's asking all these questions of does love last forever? What's the meaning of life? It's just sort of much bigger in scope, and the jokes are much smaller in a way. It's much more sort of real world. So I do love it, and Renee is amazing.
Does a fruit fly live on?
Does it live forever? Exactly. When I was told about this, I met someone and they said, oh, no, it's never going to happen, the fourth one. They've got Mark Darcy returning from the dead as an owl. And that didn't sound good. But it works, doesn't it work? It's so
I've
great.
laughed, I've cried. I'm still only halfway through, and I felt tears dripping off my nose as I was lying in bed.
Yeah, and she's just so amazing.
But
and
laughing.
Richard Coles, who is Tom, the character of Tom, he told me that he and his friends have all bought houses in Sussex, in a village, to be near each other, so they can be each other's retirement village.
Right.
So maybe that will happen to Bridget. Maybe
they'll end up
we'll
in a
come back
retirement
in 20 years from now.
Exactly.
We'll all be in some kind of village.
Bridget's baby's baby.
Bridget's baby's baby.
There you
Bridget,
go.
Yeah.
It's got a
We've
ring
come
to
up
it,
with
Sally.
an idea.
Glamorous granny competition.
Thank you for popping in.
you.
It's
Thank
lovely
you
to see
so
you. We
much for having
absolutely
me.
loved Austin.
Austin.
I'm so glad you did.
And you've already filmed the second series as well.
We have. Yeah, that's the Love series. So hopefully you won't have to wait too long for that.
Amazing. Well, look, Austin, that we're talking about, starts on Friday, 9:30 on BBC One and BBC iPlayer. You will love it, honestly. It's one of the most fun, enjoyable series I've seen in a long time.
Fun and, just
I'm
gorgeous.
so happy you liked it. What a
Lovely to
relief.
see you, Sam.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
Though he is a footballing icon, one of my favourite players of all time. 78 caps for England, 87 career goals. Played for West Ham, more importantly. He had a left foot that sent shivers down the spine of the opposition. Stuart Pearce is a true legend of our game.
But last month, on a journey home from the US, he experienced a medical emergency mid-air when, at 33,000 feet, he his heart went into overdrive.
Now, thanks to the quick action of the Virgin Atlantic crew, the plane was able to make an emergency landing and Stuart was able to get the treatment he needed in time to save his life. And he joins us now alongside his wife, Carol. Good morning to both of you.
Morning.
Stuart, it's lovely to see you looking so well.
Yeah.
You're full of the joys of spring.
Of course, you've got to be, haven't you?
Yeah.
Especially if you've had this moment that actually could have been a lot worse. Just explain a little bit about where you were. You'd been in Vegas, is that right? Had you been indulging in the typical Vegas way?
Well, we went to Vegas for 5 days, done a couple of shows, done the Punk Rock Museum, as you'd expect as well.
Amazing.
And more importantly, the rugby. We're Warrington Wolves fans, so we went out to watch Warrington versus Wigan.
So they were having a big sort of show game over there to try and find
one
American
of the
fans.
Super League games they took to Vegas for a profile for the rugby. Fantastic. So on the way back, just at the airport, my chest felt a little bit tight, a little bit heavy. I thought it may be a bit of indigestion or something of that nature. Got on the plane and it was just it felt as though someone was sort of sat on my chest, if you like. So after a couple of hours, I tried to sleep it off, to be honest with you. After a couple of hours, and I should have picked my wording slightly better, I said to Carol, I don't think I'm going to make Heathrow. I meant without telling the aircrew. Carol thought, he's pegged it. He's done.
He's pegged it. Have you ever struggled with your heart before or had any kind of medical conditions?
Nothing at all. As I say, the history of my family, nothing at all in that at all. My brothers and sisters are much older than me. They're fine. I don't drink. I don't smoke.
You really look after yourself.
Yeah, within reason.
So, Carol, you're sitting there, and obviously you know him inside out. For him to make a fuss about something physically, is that quite unusual?
Yeah, very unusual. Very unusual. Other than man flu, which I know is...
That knocks me off.
Well, it affects every
clearly
man
a
terribly,
huge
doesn't
deal.
it?
Other than that, for him to say he's in pain, that immediately made my blood run cold because you think, OK, this is serious. Because Stuart doesn't do being ill, he doesn't do pain.
Making a fuss?
No, he played with a broken leg. I mean,
wow.
You kind of, so I knew it was serious when he said to me, you know, I'm not going to make Heathrow.
And then, so then what's the process at that point? Because, of course, you're in the air at this point and you understand if you tell people, then there could be some ramifications.
Yeah, I mean, you went and spoke with the aircrew. They were magnificent on Virgin. I've got to say, one of the stewardesses come and sat next to me and went through the procedure. They've been trained, which really, going forward, we travel a lot. So going forward, it really put my mind at ease. If you are travelling, you're in really good hands, even if you're up in the air, in the main. They looked after us, moved us forward down the aeroplane, sat us up, hooked me up to a cardiogram.
An ECG
machine.
So they could track what your heart rate was doing.
And then,
so at the time, your heart rate was getting very fast, is that right?
My resting heart rate was 155 upwards.
Goodness me.
And how did you feel at that point? Were you then short of breath as well as feeling this pressure on your chest?
Just the real pressure on my chest more so. It was as though when you did breathe in, as though it wasn't sufficient for the demand, you know, slightly. But in the main, as I say, you're never sure, because I've never experienced anything like that. And I have regular checks with my union, the League Managers Association. Last summer, I went for all the checks and everything, no problems at all.
And at that point, when they've hooked you up, are the crew then talking to a medical team that are down on the ground as well?
Literally that, yeah. They hooked up with a doctor, send all the readings down there, put me on oxygen, and he's guiding them, but they're trained as well, which, you know, when people around you, you know, that are quite well trained, you know what I mean? It puts your mind at rest anyway.
I know one of the reasons you wanted to come in and share your story was so you could thank the crew as well, because they really did look after you brilliantly, didn't they?
Oh, 100%. I mean, firstly, the crew, and they were first point of contact, but on top of that, you know, the hospital in Canada was brilliant for us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, bear in mind, you know, we were in Africa camping before Christmas, so if the same thing would have happened there, it would have been a very different experience.
Yeah.
And then, on top of that, obviously, we're sat in the hospital bed watching the Forest Man City game, and they've done a minute's applause, and we're watching the game and think, hang on, one of the old Forest players must have died or something. I'm looking, hang on, it's me, you know what I mean? And I'm up on the board. It was really humbling. I must say, Ben, it was so humbling. that, you know...
Well, there's a lot of love for you out there, which is important.
It
but
was
also,
lovely.
we know because you wanted to thank her, we thought we'd bring her in today. Zoe Anderson.
Zoe.
Here's Zoe.
Hello,
The onboard manager, who was exactly the person you talked about, who came and sat down with you.
Great to see you.
As a surprise.
Morning, Zoe.
Wow,
Good morning.
So you could say... Now, Zoe, thank you for coming in, by the way. Thank you for looking after this national treasure as well as you did, because we do worry about him. And it's an interesting thing that Stuart says is actually that you were able to sit down and talk him through and put a lot of their concerns at ease. What happens when something like that happens to an onboard passenger, and what was it like sitting next to Stuart and hearing what he was going through?
So we are trained to deal with these situations. We go through quite extensive training. So when things like this happen, you know, we're prepared to deal with it. So when Carol initially came and spoke to me, I sat down with Stuart, did the sort of initial assessment, because sometimes with chest pain, it could just be something simple. It might not be something as serious. But after talking to Stuart and knowing some of your symptoms, I think you said your pain was about 8 out of 10. It started to raise some alarm bells, so we thought we needed to sort of act on that.
And then you were talking to the medical crew down on the ground. I mean, I didn't even know that protocol existed. It's actually really reassuring when you hear the story.
Yeah.
And they said, OK, well, at this point, we've got to make a decision. Are we going to land the plane or are we going to take it across the Atlantic? And they didn't recommend that you did go across the Atlantic because then there would be nowhere to land. So what was the next stage?
So we had Stuart hooked up to an ECG monitor.
Yeah.
I think we're the only airline in the UK to have that equipment. So we were able to send that straight down to the doctor that I was speaking to. My colleague, the flight service manager, Callum, he was doing the readings while I was in the cockpit talking to the doctors. So we had all that information to sort of relay back and forth. And then obviously we did a few different readings. When they said that all of them were abnormal, we made the decision that we didn't want to be halfway across the Atlantic.
That's a heavy decision to make, Stuart. How do you feel when the crew say, right, we're going to divert the plane, we're going to land in Canada, because there's a plane full of passengers that want to get home?
Yeah, there was a lot of rugby league fans on there, so I think they had a little bit of sympathy with me because I was one of them, if you like. But I was sort of in and out of consciousness. I was sleeping and then waking, sleeping and waking. And then next thing we know, we're landing in Newfoundland.
So you weren't really conscious that the plane had been done, because you were struggling, your heart rate and stuff. I imagine getting a bit of sleep's probably one of the most important things.
Exactly that. I was trying to sort of sleep it off and sleep it through. To be honest with you, I did feel slightly better going down the front, the oxygen and stuff like that. Aspirin was given to me to thin the blood and stuff. But, you know, I can't speak highly enough of the crew. It's quite incredible, honestly. I always felt as though if you get ill on an aeroplane, worst place in the world to be ill, you know, but it sort of give me a newfound rest assuredness, if you like. You know?
And we landed in Canada in -11.
Yeah.
Having come from
23
I guess
degrees
it was
in
boiling,
Vegas.
right?
So bless Zoe, she gave us a little care package with some water and snacks and stuff and a couple of blankets as well. So
Really
she made sure we went up with,
And I'd imagine, Zoe, as well, I mean, Stuart's a high-profile person anyway, but there's going to be people on the plane, if suddenly you're turning around saying we have a passenger with a medical emergency, we're going to have to divert, that can be quite scary for them as well.
Of course, yeah. So it was a team effort to make sure that Stuart, first and foremost, was being looked after. But the crew all worked together to make sure that everybody was calm and no one was worrying. So, yeah, it was a real team effort to make sure that everyone was looked after.
But I think it really stemmed from you, though, as well, Zoe, where you kept your cool. When, you know, when everybody else was kind of worried and concerned, rightly so, but you kept your cool, and I think that just kind of then reflected in everybody else as well. Is there anything you'd like to say to Zoe?
Well, we can only, as a pair, say thank you very much. You know, the professionalism that you showed on the day was brilliant. You know, if, you know, I was quite calm, reasonably calm anyway, I'm sure, but if you've got passengers that are very nervous and this sort of thing happens, and rightly so, that level of composure and the backup and the training as well, you said, no, it's OK, we've been, you know, you fully assured me, look, we've been trained at this, it's not a problem, you know?
It's definitely a calming influence.
Really good.
She kept us calm.
Fantastic. Credit to the...
Well, we're thrilled that you come in. Can we just check, have you worked out what it was? Was it just an anomaly?
They think a virus just attacked my heart. that they think I've got.
Was it because Warrington lost? Is that what it was?
The performance didn't end. It's like watching West Ham, so just watch yourself.
I love the ribbing.
Angiogram this week, echo next week, so they'll just keep on top of it, and hopefully everything will be fine going forward.
We're thrilled that you can be here to share that story, and Zoe, to all the team, you did an incredible job, and it is, as Stuart and Carol were saying, so reassuring to know, because often we'd all think, you know, we're up in the air, what have you got? But you're so brilliantly trained, and it really came to the fore. So thank you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you both.
Pleasure, and
thank you.
Thanks for having Zoe on today. I mean, we didn't know, you know what I mean? It was a surprise, but absolutely brilliant.
Amazing.
Thank you.
And they've not even been married that long. This is what he's doing to her, by the way.
No.
Not already. Really?
Yeah.
You don't have to put up with him for.
When you say really, you're looking at my age, aren't you?
Really?
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Plummer's stern character kept the children under control, but Maria was a warmer and much welcome figure. And this was the first time that you met Maria on screen, ladies. What was it like working with Julie Andrews?
Go ahead, Ange.
Well, morning, Deb. It was a great experience. We started off with our first scene that we shot was My Favorite Things. And we just fell in love with Julie right from the beginning. She was lovely to work with continually for the whole movie. So it was quite a pleasure, the whole production.
Angela, you know, I can see you as a little girl, and I can tell that is you. Still now.
White hair and all, right? We have the same face, it just gets a little older. I like to think.
It's beautiful.
So, Debbie, tell us about your memories of the audition process.
Well, the audition for me, I remember arriving at 20th Century Fox Studios, and there was probably a couple hundred other kids there. And they asked me to sing, and the only song that I knew at the time was Do Re Mi. So I sang Do Re Mi. And then they said, go wait. And I waited like an hour, I think it was, as far as I can remember anyway. And they asked me to come back in, and they had me sing with a piano accompaniment. And I did that, and then that was it. I didn't hear back for a long time, like it seemed like a month or longer. And then I was called in, I want to say it was like right after the New Year, maybe. I don't know, I don't remember exactly, but they asked me to do a screen test. And after that, then they put us together. You know, I think Robert Wise had different families that he had chosen, 14 kids, and he kept mixing us up and trying to figure out what's the most likely family here. And I got lucky, very fortunate.
Great.
It's just, can you believe that even to this day, people are still talking about this film?
It's unbelievable.
Well, we knew it was
60 years.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Deb?
no, I was just going to say, it's hard to believe that it's 60 years. How can that be?
I will, especially since we're only 40.
I know, it's weird.
You know, we knew when we were filming it that there was something magical about it. It just all, you know, even though we had Mother Nature against us, we had quite a bit of rain, which made us stay in Austria a lot longer. We knew that there was some magic in this show. Julie was not a star at the time. She had done Mary Poppins. She was a star on Broadway, but not in movies. And so it was a very iffy for 20th, you know, to take a chance on her carrying this movie. But she was nominated for Mary Poppins while we were in Salzburg. And it was, you know, it would just seem to all come together. I think Robert Wise did a great job of casting it.
I was going to ask that, Angela, because obviously we look back at it now as a classic from our childhood, but at the time, it wasn't like you said, it wasn't like Julie was this massive star. So it wasn't like a banker. It wasn't a home run that this film was going to be as successful, both commercially and critically, as it was, right?
As a matter of fact, 20th put all of its chips in on this movie because it had quite a lot of expenses, I think, from a mega film they had made before this. And I guess they got the Deeleys back, and they must have been pretty excited about what they saw. It kind of got them out of a hole, and for all these years, it's held its own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. And Angela, Julie actually taught you all the songs from Mary Poppins as well, didn't she?
Yes, she did. And that's when we kind of fell in love with her. She was like our Fräulein, you know? She taught us songs. We danced between takes. She was just embraced us all, and I think it really shows in the film.
And is it true you can sing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? Yes, I said it backwards.
Very good. Yes, docious-ali-exballistic-fragile-calorupus. That's how she talks to us.
That is impressive.
And I'll never forget it.
Debbie, what are your memories of being on set with Christopher Plummer and Julie Andrews?
Well, like Angela said, Julie Andrews was wonderful. She embraced us as if she were our own nanny. Christopher Plummer, on the other hand, was very cool, kind of standoffish and sort of authoritative. So we feared him a little bit, like we were supposed to. And there you go. That was the look we got from him when we were on the set a lot of times. He kind of kept to his own, and she hung out with us.
Yeah.
And Debbie, you were only, were you 7 at the time of filming? And your tooth fell out, didn't it?
Actually, a total of 8 teeth fell out during the process. So every time I lost a tooth, I had fake teeth, and they would just add a tooth until towards the end I had, it was like a retainer. Oh. So it was like dentures. I had top and bottom.
But one thing that wasn't faked was the Austrian landscape. I mean, because you look at that now, and people often say, "Oh, it's it's the CGI, or it's just like background and or whatnot." But you know, that was Angela. That was just the beautiful Alps, right?
It was, and you know, it looks like that to this day. I lead a tour every year, and we go to all the locations, and I talk about my memories and stuff in Salzburg. I'll be doing that again in April, and every time I go back, it's like picking up where I left off. Everything looks exactly the same. If there's one thing they have kept, it's the beauty of Salzburg, and it is a beautiful city, and nothing was CGI. I don't even think people were dreaming about CGI when we made the movie.
Yeah, of course.
You know, today they can create whole cities in CGI, but nope, it was real. Every moment and every bit of it.
I was
They
honestly
didn't have
taken
steady
back when I
cams
heard that
either.
today. I honestly thought that was all CGI until today.
Like,
yeah, lovely.
Fake, yeah.
And
No,
you
it's
go back
lovely.
you go back to Austria every year, don't you, Debbie, to do the Sound of the Music tours?
I don't go every year, but I go as often as I can, and it's not necessarily to do the tour. I just like to go and wander around.
And does it bring back
But
some lovely memories?
I took the tour once.
And does it bring back lovely memories every time you go back? Is it really nostalgic?
Oh, yes, totally. I mean, it's just looking at the streets that we walked up and down, and all the fountains and the places that we were, especially when we were doing the Do Re Mi scene, and the gardens is what I love. I don't know if you know this about me, but I do design gardens now. That is what my love is in the summertime and springtime here. So I think my inspiration for what I do now all started then.
How funny, isn't it incredible for both of you that a part, obviously a huge part and a huge movie, but you didn't know that at the time, has had such an unbelievable influence in your life. Like Angela going back to Austria every year, Debbie, you having this interest in horticulture. It's quite something, isn't it, that it still resonates down the years. And are you in touch, Angela, I'll start with you, are you in touch with the rest of the cast? I know you guys get together, are you called the Non-Traps now, I believe?
Yes, we do call ourselves the Non-Traps. Yes, we stay in touch. We are a family that gathers, and this picture you're seeing right now, those are Charmian's 2 daughters. We lost Charmy several years ago, but her 2 daughters invited us all for a 60th celebration. We went to the beach there. We had a lovely little party, and Nicholas, who played Frederick, he was doing a play in Australia, and so during intermission, he would get onto the Zoom,
so
and then
nice.
Dwayne, he lives up in Colorado, and he's there also on that Zoom that you're seeing there. And we just, you know, got together and just talk about what's happening. And that other picture is about where we're signing our book, the Sound of Music Family Scrapbook, which has our memories and our memorabilia in it. And that's still available. That's on my website too. I sign them. So yeah, we stay together. We are a family that has always stayed together.
And what do your grandchildren think of it? Are they transfixed whenever they see the film?
Well, yes, Debbie has 9 grandchildren to introduce to the movie. I have 5, and they love it. They sit, you know, transfixed. Do Re Mi has captured so many people's hearts. Everybody knows the words, and everybody can sing it, and sing it with their grandkids. And schools, I'm always told they're doing the play in schools. So it never goes away. It's just an evergreen show.
How lovely to be part of something so special.
Yeah, it is neat. We're very blessed. We talk about that. All of us have truly loved being a part of this iconic movie. So I've been celebrating it. I created an Edelweiss collection of jewelry.
I love the Edelweiss. Angela, you're smashing it on the marketing, Angela. I'm loving this. Angela and Debbie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Debbie's gardens are available as well. If you need a garden there, then you know exactly who to contact. Thank you, guys. Take care. I hope to see you in the flesh one day.
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.
What a rarity, a boy where everyone can sing. As they prepare to head off on a brand new tour, they join us now. Yay! Good to see you guys.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Well, apart from my hairline, that's gone.
So nice to see you all.
Aston, you still look the same.
They all look the same now.
Kind of, sort of.
I think you do. Got a baby face, yeah.
Love you. Come on.
Nice to see you guys.
You too.
So when did you first get back together? Was that last year, year before?
It was just... It was meant to be at the beginning of the lockdown, and then we had to delay
There you
a couple
go,
of years.
that one.
So it was about 2023.
Yeah, we actually went on tour.
End of 22... No.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad this is prepared.
Something like that.
2021.
They just come rolling up.
2021, we went on tour.
Yeah.
2023 was the last time we toured, so this is obviously going to be the first
so
time
nice.
in a couple of years.
Well, you know, the main thing is we got our boys back together.
Yeah.
So you're back. How are you feeling about it, Marv?
Can't wait, you know. The sales have been amazing already this morning to know that people are still coming to see us on an arena tour. So I must admit, being on an ITV show with Dermot, with these 4, brings back PTSD, I'll be honest.
You're not the only one.
You know what I mean? Every single week, waiting for Dermot to say our name on the X Factor. Exactly. One week we were in the bottom 2 as well, and everything could have been so different. But,
do you know, I rewatched that last night.
Yeah.
It gave me PTSD too. Because it was Rachel, you were in the bottom.
Yeah.
She was a good singer. It's always, X Factor always did that, Joe. She always threw up kind of... Like, because these boys were such stars from the very first audition, and you knew, and they were willing to learn, and they evolved, and they had the merch sorted, like week 1. Like, because my dressing room was up in their dressing room, and they'd be walking out with, like, polo shirts and hoodies and, like, shearling tops, and I'd be like, how are they doing it? So we always expect them to go quite far, but every year we'd throw in, someone would always be in the bottom 2, wouldn't they, that you weren't expecting.
Well, you were second, but you've been the most successful band that come out of X Factor. I mean, can you believe this amount of success that you've had at Aston? From you know, because when you come second, they're always the ones that do a lot better than the actual winners sometimes, aren't they?
Do you know what's mad? That one particular year, Simon sat everyone down before the live show kind of kicked off and was like, this year, I know I've had a history of signing someone who's come second or third or maybe even fourth, just the winner. So just the winner gets the record deal. Kind of that kind of, I suppose, spurred us on as much as physically possible during the show. So when we did get second, we actually thought, oh no, this is kind of it. You know what I mean? This is it for us. It's a bit like we've kind of got to the final hurdle and kind of fell, but Listen, we've
it all worked out all right.
I was going to say,
Yeah, you've been putting out bangers ever
That's classic
since.
Simon, though. He said that, and then when they finished, he was like, well, I didn't really mean that.
Right.
That's true. Now you've got, now you've got the tour coming up. You're all looking pretty fit. But is it like, sort of, is it Rocky? You're sort of like, all right, let's get back in the ring. Let's do it. Come on, got to get fit again.
We probably need slightly longer in rehearsals. No, to be honest, it's not much has changed. You know, we have a couple of weeks before the tour. Before we go into production rehearsals, and that's when we have like all the bells, all the whistles, everything that we want to do for the show. We run it as a show, and those are pretty grueling days, to be honest. Like we're talking 8 till 8 or 9 or 10 sometimes.
Yeah.
But then once we're on the road, that's where the fun begins, you know, and you can just let loose. Now it's very different, of course. You've got the kids backstage acting like they own the O2.
Yeah.
And all the other venues. But yeah, you know, it's really, really special now.
And Arisha, are you the person that put the band together? Did you find everybody? How did you find them?
I mean, it's a very, 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 very long story. But I actually had the idea. I used to live in Nigeria. So I had the idea when I lived in Nigeria, because I was seeing a lot of male vocal groups in Nigeria, and there was a particular band called Star Plus that I used to listen to a lot. And actually, I wasn't looking to be in a band originally. I wanted to have my own label and sign a band. And then when I got back to the UK, I was being, scouted for a lot of different bands and stuff like that. And then I thought, well, you know what, maybe now's the time I put my own group together. And then just, through university and advertising and college and advertising and then MySpace at the time and connection with friends, just pulled the boys together and, it's obviously the rest is history.
How did you know when you had something magic? Because obviously when you get together, there's something special about all of you. How did you know when you had it?
I think because I never had any experience in the music industry, I never knew what a record label, I never had a record label manager or anyone behind me. It was just like natural vibes, just energies. Do you know what I mean? So you just kind of know when the energy's there. I just follow my instincts.
You could tell that, though. You could tell that. It was all very natural between you both. Like, some of them have been put together. It didn't quite feel right, but it was all...
Because every other band, if you think about it, has been put together by a company or a manager or someone that's had experience. I don't have no experience. I was just a kid who just had a dream.
Have your roles changed at all, as in within the band, as you've evolved? Like more people, like, Aston, you involved, like, choreography, or how does it, like, who's the daddy in what scenario?
You're the daddy, are you?
It rotates, doesn't it? On a regular basis, it actually rotates.
It does.
Which is actually weird this day and age. It's a bit like, I think everything business side was literally Jay. It was like, because this is the lawyer. This is the lawyer right here.
There with the turkeys and the pigs.
Listen, I'm happy to read the contracts. And that's been very important over the years.
Yeah, quite right.
Honestly, T's and C's, this one is like, I'll sit here for 2 hours and get it easy in.
Listen, you got to thank him for that.
Trust me. Yeah.
JP, is it true you're like a farmer now? You've got turkeys and everything?
Yeah.
And they're winning turkeys?
Yes. Kelly Bronze out to Paul Kelly. This is going to be our 11th year, which I cannot believe. Like, it's unbelievable. And yeah, it's been amazing. And it's been great, obviously, like having this as kind of like the platform for all of us to jump off and do all our different bits and pieces. But to be able to come back and, go on tour again, and obviously this year will be, I think it's like our 7th or 8th arena tour, and to be going all over the UK doing 18 dates,
Here's
it's
a
just
killer
unbelievable.
question. Are you cool to your kids? Or, like, are they still, like...
It depends. The other day I got a birthday card from my oldest. She said, Daddy, happy birthday. You're so cool, trendy and cringe.
At the same time?
Yeah, the same thing. But, it's funny, though, because... I'll take it, for sure, 2 out of 3. But as the tour comes around, I feel like, for all of us, the requests start coming in for tickets. And my eldest is 11. Our mates want to come and see us play. So... I'd like to think we've still got a little bit.
Yeah, baby.
Just a touch.
A big happy birthday, Marv, because you were 40 and what a party.
Yes.
I mean, very swanky.
Yes, it was amazing, last Saturday night here in London, we had an amazing time, all friends, family, and, my kids were there. So, yeah, it was huge. Massive night. Yeah. Still recovering, to be honest.
Yes.
And I got to ask, is Sam Thompson joining any of your tour dates?
Sam is... basically the 5th member. He's been on stage with us loads. He's performed
I've
with
said
us.
no, basically.
Here he is here. This was last summer.
No one's sorting out that choreography,
Exactly. And that is why Sam is staying firmly side of stage.
Do you know, when we were in the jungle, they made up this sitcom. You were Lieutenant...
Axwell Murph.
Axwell Murph, right? We've made up this whole sitcom, and I thought, God, why have we got to take this to Netflix? This is amazing.
Let's do it, Joe.
It was so good.
Joe's not going to lie to you, I feel like you'd been in there too long.
Yeah.
I I get where you're going with this.
Playing tricks with that jug.
I was like, this is incredible. This is the best thing I've ever watched. But yeah, you
So
can
nice.
act, you can sing,
Well,
triple threat.
So nice to see you guys.
Yeah, you sure?
Lovely to see you guys again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Best of luck with it. Can't wait to see you. And we'll be ringing you for free tickets as well. Jealous is The Club is Alive 2025. Hit stores on
Thank you
sale
for
now.
visiting
Still
our
to
This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
Yes is the answer. We want to stop that pile of stuff that goes under the bed. You know, like those kind of old exercise things.
I know.
That just
the
collect
rollers.
dust.
Stretching
Aren't they?
machines.
Behind the sofa. We shove everything in.
I've got plenty of them. What did you test, Natalie, that you took home? Was there anything that you've tested you've gone...
There was. Vegetable chopper.
Oh.
Bear with me.
Yeah.
I know it's not the most exciting thing. It's not going to set your world alight. But I'm left-handed.
Me too.
Can you cut well?
I can't do much well.
Right?
I'm pretty rubbish with both hands, to be fair.
But if I'm cutting in front of the family, you know, bread, meat, they really flinch. Oh, Nat, you're going to chop your hand off. So cutting onions up and stuff, half an onion, in it goes, wallop. It's in a box. Loved it.
Oh, I see. So it does all the chopping for you.
Does it all for you.
You might have one of them.
There you go. I think you should get it out.
Yes, that's good for a left-hander.
There you go.
What about the ice baths? Because I'm on the verge of committing to an ice bath.
Well, I tried it out in a university setting. So I was in a chair and I was strapped in. So
basically, there was no escape.
No escape. But also, here we go. Also, no control of speed or pace of getting in. You know, like you dip your toe and you can take it out. I couldn't do it. Unfortunate, Cat, it's not for me.
Is it not?
It's not for me.
Because it was 12 degrees. It wasn't actually ice, like zero.
No,
So maybe it's because it wasn't cold enough.
I think it was the pace of it for me, because your body and brain, your brain knew what was about to happen.
Right.
But
So would you have liked to have taken a little bit more time? Just stop here for a second.
No, I would have liked to just been dunked
be
in.
dunked in?
Yes, get in.
The old sailing witch trial. Stick her in, see if she floats.
I did feel amazing after it, though. You do feel full of energy.
Yeah.
And I think I would go seawater swimming, because I met some lovely ladies who were doing that.
The blue tits.
That's what I should have done, the blue tits.
I was expecting you to go in, because she walks on this beach and they're all there.
Yeah.
You're in the gear.
Yeah. No.
I was like, oh, any second she's going in.
I said, it's quite a nice day. I think I'll dip in. No, not part of the story. I said, all right, then, let's go off to the university.
I mean, the wonderful thing about doing something like this is there's no lines involved as well.
Well, that takes up a lot of time
Yeah,
in the
I bet it
evenings. I'm
does.
finding all the jobs I'm doing at the moment are fantastic. You can do them in the day, and in the evening I've actually got time to cook, spend time with the children.
Yeah.
It's, pretty special.
Because I was reading that you were saying that basically your memory has developed in such a way that you can retain stuff till you need it,
Yeah.
and then you sort of dump it.
Yes.
So there's only so much bandwidth. And I think my memory works like that now with what we do. You retain the information as long as you need it.
Off
then
it
half an
goes.
hour later, you can't remember what it was that you've just been doing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
It's crazy. I think, well, obviously the brain's a muscle, so
Yeah.
we definitely can train it in different ways, can't we?
So have you chatted to the EastEnders lot? Have you said, right, I don't want this part recast? Is there any chance you could go back in the future? Is there anything like that? Have you set your parameters?
I don't think it's down to me to set a parameter, really.
Do it.
Natalie,
Do it.
No,
For goodness
listen,
sake.
you make a decision in life, and then that's my decision, and it's down to them what they do. You know, they've been absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
As
What do you
ever.
think you're going to miss most of that?
The people. You miss all the people, the crew, you know, your friends.
Did you have a leaving do? What was that last
had
day
I
like?
had a nice little leaving do, with lots and lots of friends, and it was a lovely day. I didn't feel overly emotional, Kat, for some reason. I think because I'd been processing it for so long, and I knew it was the right thing to do. But it was just lovely, and you know, I've got lots of other things going on.
Podcast too?
My podcast, is going down really well.
Kind of come out of nowhere and doing so
It is
amazingly
doing
well.
We've built a real community with Life with Nat, and I'm very proud of it. You know, and I have my family on, my nieces are on it, my brother, Mark, my fiancé.
Any more singing, Natalie?
Sing it,
After
don't mention the bush.
After the bush was such a triumph. Your bush was a triumph on The Masked Singer.
Thank you.
What an amazing adventure that was.
It was brilliant. Again, you're being brave. I feel like I'm taking on jobs and being brave.
So you've done the bush on The Masked Singer. Will we see you in the bush down under?
Nice link.
Very good link. Smooth.
Yes.
I would rather not at the moment. But you never know, do you?
Never say never.
That was very open-ended.
Big tax bill comes in.
You could take...
Let's be honest, please. Let's be honest.
That's why your podcast is so wonderful. Natalie, thank you for coming in.
Thank you
It's been
so
gorgeous
much.
to
So
see
lovely
you.
to see you.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
Thank you.
Natalie's new documentary series, What's the Big Deal? Britain's Best Buy, starts next Friday, the 4th of April at 8 p.m. on Channel 4, and EastEnders continues tonight at 7:30.
Oh, hello.
on BBC.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
As one of the radio hosts on the Capital Breakfast Show alongside Jordan and Sean. Our next guest is usually the one to brighten up our mornings, but earlier this week, Chris Stark shared a very moving announcement on social media.
Yeah, Chris revealed that 2 months ago he was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and although he caught the disease early, Chris believes that he should have spotted the sites even earlier.
After making an emotional return to his radio show, Chris is with us now today alongside Dr. Zoe in the hope that his story will inspire more men to get checked. Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you. I know you weren't expecting to be sitting here and
No, I didn't have
talking
this
about
on my 2025 bingo card, if I'm honest.
No, I am sure you didn't, but we're really grateful that you've come here this morning and you're going to have a chat. It was a routine doctor check, wasn't it? It wasn't to do with testicular cancer at all.
No, if I'm honest, if I'm being really honest, I don't really like going to the doctors. It's something I put off. I'd gone to the doctors about something else, and I was just really, really lucky that this doctor, who, you know, has been brilliant probably without realising here, asked me if there was anything else at all that was bothering me. And I had this little thing in the back of my head around... I'm not even sure the language that we're meant to use around this, if I'm honest. Am I allowed to say balls on this?
Yeah,
doesn't matter. It's happening.
Yeah.
I had a kind of weird, not feeling, I just wasn't sure about testicular cancer or problems in that area. And I just said to him, I'm not sure really what to do.
Yeah.
In that. It was kind of, I was awkward about it.
So there was something to do with your testicles that were sore, or they were a little tender?
Well, that was it. I basically just wasn't sure about everything. And whilst I was there, and he actually said to me, look, shall I just do a quick examination? And in that moment, I was like, yeah. And as he was doing that, it felt really sore on one side, but it's always felt sore. So I just put it down to, you know, if
just
you play football and you get, someone kicks you
strain or something. Yeah.
It's just something like that. And then at that point, he told me that it shouldn't really feel sore. And that could be a symptom of something else. It should be fine.
Right.
So he then sent me for an ultrasound. And at that ultrasound, I found out I have testicular cancer. Or they strongly suspected it. And it was only then when they kind of made me push my fingers down on it that I could feel that lump. And I'd been avoiding that because there was a bit of a pain.
Well, because it hurt you.
But I just wrote off the pain as like, you know, it's your balls.
Aches and pains. Yeah.
And that, if I'm being really honest, made me feel like an idiot. Because the second I could then feel it, and the second they told me it was testicular cancer, or they thought it was, you know, I've got 2 kids, I've got a wife who I love very dearly, and I just sort of felt like, you know, you're an idiot. You're putting them...
You've kind of put these blinkers on when in the back of your head you knew something wasn't quite right.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I went to the doctors thinking that I've got testicular cancer. It was just lucky I went to the doctors, had a check. He happened to mention, you know, should have a look. And I guess that's what I really want to say today is if this resonates with one person who maybe double thinks in the shower tonight to go check themselves, if it's a bit awkward and embarrassing, although I've got used to that embarrassment for me to talk about on the radio or the podcast or here, I'm happy to do that if the end result is one lad checks themselves or knows they've got something going on or thinks they might, but was embarrassed to go to the doctors and just go and do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really what I want to say this morning.
I think that the importance of what happened was, even though you could trace it back, going, why on earth did I take this risk and not think about making that fuss? Fortunately, in that moment, thanks to the doctor, you did. You've had surgery. You had that quite quickly. That's all turned around. Because that must be a real whirlwind as well, Chris. You know, 1 minute you've gone just to have a checkup, but the next thing, your whole world's changed.
Yeah, so I had the surgery, and the surgery is, again, it feels kind of unusual discussing this morning, but so the surgery, you know, you remove a testicle, which is kind of like, it's quite big news.
Yeah.
But it was fine. Like, honestly, I became really proactive and I was like, right, let's just get that done. I was still doing the radio at the time. got to be honest, I was probably quite high on medication for a couple of those shows I did. So sorry to Sean and Jordan.
Jordan said it was quite a week.
Yeah, I mean, it was wild. And I did that, and then I did the chemotherapy last week, which was a decision because it would help increase the odds of it not coming back.
Yes.
By having this one bout of chemo. You know, I'm also hyper aware that there'll be a lot of people who are watching this right now who are affected by cancer, either with a family member or someone's going through chemo and having a far harsher time than I am, which I'm very aware about when I try and talk about this, because I feel very lucky, and I'm aware that I'm a lucky one.
Mm-hmm. And so now you've done that preventative chemo, is the prognosis good?
Yeah, so my understanding of it is I'm effectively cured.
OK.
They monitor you then every month, I think, for the next couple of years, and there is a chance this comes back. I don't know enough about it, actually, Zoe. I find myself constantly Googling, which is a terrible thing to do. But my way of dealing with all of this and being in communication with consultants and doctors has become a lot more proactive and positive. And you know, since I've been talking about it, I've been amazed by how many blokes, especially, have reached out to me in DMs and messages into the show.
Doctors have called up the show and said, oh, my goodness, the number of people that are coming in for checks now, some people have had, like, 8 a day or...
Yeah, there was a doctor who got in touch, and this was one surgery, saying they'd had 8 people ring up for appointments to get checks. Wow. Which is, you know...
So that's already enough, Tris, to understand that it's made a difference.
Yeah,
You've been brave in talking about it.
But what I really, really want to happen there is, like, there is a bit of a stigma around this area. We're literally talking about, you know, your privates. But just know, if you're thinking, oh, I should go to the doctors but not doing it, there are plenty of other lads who are messaging me right now who are doing it. Yeah. And I was one of those people. And I just don't want you to end up feeling like me, a bit of an idiot for not having done this sooner.
Yeah.
Zoe, just explain testicular cancer and the importance, as Chris was saying, getting it early, particularly in young men.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing about testicular cancer is that it is very treatable, and over 95% of people who get it will survive it at 5 years. But obviously, the sooner it's caught, the higher the success rates. And yours hadn't spread anywhere else, so you know your chances of it not coming back with the chemo as well are very, very good.
I'd like to think I've got more than 5 years, Zoe.
Yeah, we tend to do that measure at 5 years, because if you clear it 5 years, then you're almost definitely
you're then
good.
going onwards a bit.
Yeah, almost definitely good. Well, but, you know, this is a cancer that affects young men. It's one of those rare cancers that is more common in younger people than older people. The peak sort of age is early 30s.
That surprised me as
well. Yeah, but it typically affects people anywhere from the age of 15 up to 45. About 2,400 cases a year. And like I say, the survival is good if it's caught early. So I think what you're saying is, you know, absolutely right. If people are checking, like, you can't prevent getting testicular cancer. You haven't done anything wrong if you get it. You can't prevent it. But if you do get it and you detect it early because you're regularly checking yourself, then that's the best defence that men have.
Well, as you say, the checking is incredibly important.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
Adolescent stars Owen Cooper and Faye Must Say join us now. Hello, both of you. Thank you so much for coming in. It's been a whirlwind for us. Every day, as Kat was saying, we've been talking about themes to do with adolescence, talking about some of the reaction to it, having the writers and the stars in. To have you both here today to really talk about it is a real privilege. So thank you for joining us.
On and off the show,
yeah,
actually.
Very much so.
Thanks for having us.
I wonder what it's been like for you, Owen, particularly because it's, you know, it's your first foray into this world, and it's we've never seen anything like this. How have you found it?
It's gone well so far. I've not had any bad things said about me, so I'm doing well.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
That's a good start, considering the subject matter.
Far, yeah.
But, of course, how are you dealing with the attention? Because I'd imagine you're walking along the street and people are stopping you to talk about it.
No, to be honest, it's not even been that bad. When I've been working, I've been in Yorkshire, so I've not had that many.
The attention hasn't been too much.
Which is good.
What about your mates, your schoolmates? Are they giving you any grief?
No, I haven't seen them yet. So I'm in school soon. So
you're back on Monday, right?
Are you back on Monday?
Are you?
Yeah.
So have you got a lot to catch up on?
No, well, I've been doing tutoring while I'm working, so I don't think so.
Right.
Okay.
But I just can't. I want to see my mates, but it'll either be a really good day or a really bad day.
I think it'll be a good day.
Yeah, it's going to be a good day seeing your mates. The bad thing will be having to sit through lessons and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's clever, you know that. So you were just saying you've been working. What are you working on right now?
It's Wuthering Heights, so I'm playing Young Heathcliff.
Young Heathcliff.
And how does that compare? Because obviously you're used to doing everything in one take, which is quite a unique way of working, essentially. So how does that compare? And you're working with Margot Robbie too.
I know.
Is it good?
Well, yeah, I see her all the time and speak to her all the time, but I don't really have any scenes. I don't have any scenes with her, so. But the.
She all right?
Yeah, she's really nice, really. Yeah.
I think your mates might be interested in that.
I reckon. Yeah. But the filming-wise, it's fine. It's just a lot different, obviously, but yeah, it's going really well. Yeah.
Are you studying? You're not studying Wuthering Heights at school for GCSEs or anything, not yet. That's a shame because you'd have an inside track.
I know, yeah.
Faye, it's the extraordinary thing is, and he's taking it in his stride, which is just so lovely, and it sounds like his team and family are keeping him away from a lot of that.
Yeah.
But for you, you've been an actress for many years. You've been surrounded by these things.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced anything quite like this?
No, never. In the, I think it's 14 years I've been doing it now, and I've been in some lovely things, you know. But it's never made an impact in the way that this has made an impact, and the conversations it started, and that's what we wanted, you know. When I read the script, I knew in the first page that it was going to be amazing. I knew that I was part of something that was very, very special, and was going to start conversations that we all need to have. But I didn't, for the life of me, realise it was going to break records and, you know, be mentioned in Parliament and, you know, potentially be used in schools and things like that, you know, so...
All over the world as well.
Yeah,
my cousins are in Australia and they're all talking about it on their breakfast shows and their talk shows and stuff.
Yeah, it's a crazy response, and, you know, to witness Owen do his first major job and see this talent, this young man that comes from a similar background to most of us that were in the show, you know, we all come from similar world, and to have him blow up like this is an amazing thing to watch. So yeah, we're very, very lucky. We're very lucky, aren't we, mate?
Yeah.
Aww. And it was kind of a bit of a baptism of fire for you, because you started with episode 3 on your first day.
First day, episode 3.
Which is that double-hander with you and Erin. We've had Erin on the show before. It was so brilliant too. Yeah. And you had all this dialogue to learn. You had all of that.
How many pages of dialogue it was?
I think it was 40-odd.
40 pages of dialogue to learn?
Yeah, I don't know. It might be less, might be more, I'm not sure.
And you knew them on the first day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
And so did anything...
I'm still there with the script.
Yeah. Did anything ever go wrong? What went wrong during the...
The bits where it went wrong was in the rehearsal weeks that we had.
Right.
But in by shoot, me and Erin were perfectly fine.
Did you yawn, though?
Yeah, I did.
Yawn's become a thing, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Yeah, I was
yawn.
Yeah, I was tired, so I just yawned, and then Erin backed me up and secured it, and it worked. So yeah.
This is the moment, and you. This wasn't obviously intended, but it's such a perfect,
brilliant
moment in terms of her reaction, but also the way you react as Jamie.
Yeah.
You know, that scene. I mean, Faye, have you ever seen anything quite so compelling?
No, I haven't, and I think it's a masterclass from both of them, from Erin as well. I think the attention to detail that this young man has is astounding. For example, I actually went wrong in one of my takes.
No.
I don't know if you'll remember this, but we were doing the interview scene in episode 1, and I put the picture of Katie down and said, do you know Katie Miller? Do you remember? Which is your surname. It's meant to be Katie Leonard.
Oh, I see.
And
Yeah,
Owen just fired back straight away. Her name's Katie Leonard, by the way, just straight into my eyes. So I had 2 reactions. One, I was bright red and going, I've ruined this take for everybody, and there's Stephen Graham and there's Ashley, and I've got Owen and Mark Stanley. But then the other part of me was like, amazed by this kid's presence. And we all had each other's backs in there. And, you know, Owen's capable of doing it. We were all capable of looking after each other like that. So, yeah, he had my back, you know, and...
Amazing.
It's just, it's a credit to
Didn't you misplace the car keys in one take?
I didn't misplace the car keys.
Sorry.
It wasn't me.
There were some car keys misplaced.
There's a chase scene in the end of episode 2 where Ashley is running. While that's happening, I'm getting into a car and driving the car up so I can be behind the camera to do my next bit. I get in the car doesn't start, so I have to get out of the car and run after them, you know, like heaving, like asthma attack vibes going on, you know. So, yeah, there were a couple of things that went wrong, but in general, we got on with it and we looked after each other. And,
so, I mean, what happened, obviously, when you're in the take and, you know, you try and do it in a wanna and you're going from beginning to end, you've got to be so focused. But during the rest of the time, during the setups and things like that, what were you doing? Were you hanging out together? What were you doing?
In the rehearsals?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was... The rehearsals were just... we took it simple, so... And it was just for me to learn and to see what happens on a film set.
Right.
So, and to meet everyone, to meet Stephen, to meet Faye and all the cast. So, yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. And you and Stephen got on about football as well. Were you playing a bit of footy on...?
No, there wasn't really a place to play footy, but the Euros was on at the time, so...
Ah!
There was a lot to discuss. You're both Liverpool fans as well. This is the issue. Trent Alexander-Arnold looks like he might be on his way. This is what we're fuming about.
Yeah.
For free.
He deserves to be at a club like that, though, so...
Do you think so?
Yeah.
OK. We'll not get into too much football.
Literally, straight over my head.
There is also the other thing, though, and this was your first experience of being on a film set, your first experience. And yet, as Faye will tell you, it's never like this. You don't shoot things in one take as well. Did you get towards the end of a scene, like episode 3 when you were there, and you're thinking, right, we're nearly there, we've nearly got there, and you're thinking, don't forget your lines, or were you just so involved that actually that wasn't really part of the process?
By the 3rd week in shoot week, the lines weren't a problem. It wasn't focusing on lines, it was just making it different every take. So, and the lines were just stuck in our head, we wasn't really focused on the lines, but yeah, it was just the notes that Phil gave us that we had to focus on, so yeah.
And so initially, you wanted to be a footballer, essentially, didn't you? You're a pretty mean football player. Then you got into acting about 2 years ago or something like that. How did it happen? What happened?
Well, I used to go to this drama class called Drama Mob in Manchester.
Right.
And I did that for about 2 years. Okay. And then I got a self-tape for adolescents, and then I did loads of auditions and recalls and stuff, and then, I got it.
So have you put the football ambitions to the side for the time being?
Well, I was at training last night, so...
Were you?
Yeah.
Is that why you went back up? So your football team, you still need to be training with your football team?
No, I didn't need to, I just wanted to.
Have you got a match?
That's why you got in the car at 4 o'clock this morning.
There are priorities. This is one of the things.
Well, they say have a plan B, you know.
Exactly.
I don't think this kid needs a plan B, though.
Was it everything that you imagined? Was it... Because obviously, 2 years, that's not that long, really, to start going to drama classes.
Well, I started in 2021, so it's 4 years ago, and then I was doing it for 2 years. But when I was younger, drama and acting wasn't in my DNA. I wasn't thinking of doing it. So
anyone in the family do any acting?
No, it's just me. So I don't know where I got it from, and then a couple of years ago, I just wanted to do it. It just clicked in me. I don't know where it came from. I just did it.
Obviously, a fabulous talent. Talking talent, though, you've got quite a claim to fame when it comes to football.
I do.
Yeah, you've got some football.
I do. I also wanted to be a footballer, my friend. Jill Scott.
You played against?
When I was a kid, I don't claim to know Jill now, but it's amazing to see what she's done for women's football. And
one of the greatest lionesses of all time.
National treasure, I would
And you
say.
played against her?
Yeah, I played for a team called Cader Girls, and her team was called Bolden. And I can see her now in her strip, and she was way taller than me. And everyone was just, she was just the best on the pitch. Rightly so, So, I used to play as well. Middlesbrough fan myself. Not
Borough fan. It's where Cammie's from. There's been some great times as a Borough fan.
Yeah, of course.
Don't forget. Janino.
There we go.
Ravanelli. I get mistaken for Janino all the time.
Do you? Oh, I can see it,
Oh,
actually.
my Lord.
Sorry.
Oh, no way. Oh, my goodness.
And what's magical, Owen, is that this experience that you've had is something you're going to remember and your family will remember for a very, very long time. We're so excited for you. Thank you for what you've done, for all of you. I know Stephen's been really important to you, and did he introduce you to your now agent?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And long may that continue.
That's the thing about that group of people. The group of people we were with are supportive. Hannah, Stephen, Joe, Phil. They put together, people that really want to support each other, and this is what result that you get from it.
And I said, when Owen sat down, I said, you've got to tell me how you've managed to cut your fringe off, because all the teenage boys at the moment, including mine, have this ridiculous thing going on at the front. And you were saying it was for the role.
It was for the role. So, and it does really fit the role as well. So,
but you've got to go back to school Monday without your floppy bit.
No, I've been in school without all this.
And what your mates think
there was about a week where I got taken the mick out of, but that was about it. They've all got over it now, so yeah.
I think an attachment.
Yeah. I think
pin on one.
Or like a whip.
Yeah, it's a little attachment on.
Just a clip on fringe.
No. What are you getting your mum for Mother's Day yet? Do you know? Got to do it. You've got to get something.
I'll just probably nick one of these flowers.
There you go.
Can I have some for my mum?
You know what? You can take your pick, my friend.
You've heard that right.
You absolutely absolutely have. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Lovely to meet you, Faye. And best of luck for the future. I'm sure we'll see a lot more of you.
Yeah.
And you know, fingers crossed for Liverpool winning the league this year, eh?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's pretty confirmed now.
It is pretty confirmed.
Of course, Adolescence is available to watch on Netflix right now. I'm sure many of you have watched it, but hopefully having met some of the cast, met the writers, you'll understand a little bit more of how important this show has been for everybody.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning. Oh, it's very good. We're joined now by the show's director and producer, Ben Stiller, alongside some of the stars of the series, Adam Scott, Tremel Tillman and Britt Lauer. Good morning to you
Morning,
guys.
everybody.
Good morning. Now, we've been watching... Yeah.
Can you just show them your notes?
So this is like my history A-level.
Oh, my goodness.
That I had to write in pink pen.
Love that.
Because you've got to concentrate.
Yeah.
You're such a good student.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Yeah. She gets a bit more grief than good student usually from me, Adam, to be fair.
Good luck on the test.
Oh, no, don't say that. You can't say that after I've watched the show. What's going to happen to me otherwise? Is it going to be a...
Well, you won't remember it.
More importantly...
OK, so what can you tell... Because we could try and explain it, but A, we wouldn't do it justice, and B, we might give away too many spoilers. So for anyone who hasn't seen it, how would you describe it?
I mean, it's interesting. It's a show about a guy who decides to undergo this procedure where he has a chip put in his head where when he goes to work, he goes down an elevator, he doesn't remember anything about his life on the outside. Then when he leaves work, he doesn't remember what happened at work on the inside. And Adam plays the main character who's going through the loss of his wife and has decided to...
Yeah, so I severed to try and get away from the grief that I'm experiencing in the outside world.
Yes.
Yeah, and the company is a big sort of biotech company. We don't quite know what they do, and they have a very strong sort of culture. It's almost a religious sort of ideology at the company.
Yeah, it's very dark in places too. The goats are featured too. Can you tell me, like... And what does the company actually do?
These are all great questions. And I look forward to wondering about the answers. No, I mean, there are goats at some point that show up. There are lots of... I mean, it's really, to me, the show, when I first read the pilot of it, it was almost like a workplace comedy, like The Office or Parks and Rec. It had that vibe, but if the people who were working didn't know who they were, what they were doing, or why they were there.
Right, because I was going to say, it's not a laugh a minute. I mean, when you say comedy, it's one of those things, Adam, and your character particularly as the lead, watching him go through the trauma of grief and then the severance process, but then everything, as Kat was saying earlier, unravelling a little bit. I mean, what sort of challenge is that for you to play?
Yeah, I think it's all a challenge, and that's kind of why we love making the show so much, is that there's nothing simple about it.
No.
There's nothing simple about the experience of watching it, but also making it. Everything about it is a challenge, and even on days when we think there's going to be an easy, straightforward scene to shoot, once we're there and actually doing it, it's like, oh no, there's like 9 things going on, and it's complicated. But that's what's so interesting and fun about making it.
Yeah.
And both Britt and Adam their characters are severed in the show. So they play their innie and their outie.
Yeah. So you play 2 different versions of the same person.
Right, exactly. And then Tremel is the office manager, works for the main office manager in the first season, and he's kind of in charge of everybody, and we don't quite know how we feel about him.
Milkshake, I think, is the one who's changed the most from the beginning to where we get to where there's am I allowed to say?
No.
But he does some serious moves.
No, you can say that he's amazing dancing. No.
No. Good save. I tell you what we'll do. Well, all these notes for nothing.
No.
When we talk
about the first season.
Yes, there's
but
a big development.
We can't talk about the...
Yeah. I mean, you know...
I mean, that's amazing. You can continue doing that.
Keep talking about that. I want to see Melchik's, though. Melchik's hips, they don't lie. They don't lie. He is a very debonair, flamboyant... Like, I think the evolution of him into series 2... I mean, he's become a sort of a bit of a sex symbol as well, hasn't he? I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have got a real sort of thing for him.
They're living for the short sleeve.
They're living
the leather jacket, the moustache.
I felt like I should have a roll neck on today in honour of in honour of his style.
Yeah.
And is it true that the moustache that you portray, that you cultivate, takes 45 minutes? Because I think there's something really meticulous about everything to do with the show.
100%.
And the way you look and all of those things feels like it's so detailed.
Yes. I mean, so many people on this show are so invested in it, you know, the cast and the crew. And I have a wonderful design team who work meticulously to build this mustache, right? And so, because I'm a hairy guy, you know, I give them hell, because the hair just keeps growing, and hour by hour, so they're chipping away to make sure that it's
constantly cultivating. Constantly, like the goats. That's why you've got the goats, to cultivate them.
Just to trim the moustache?
Yes.
Yeah.
The goats and the mustaches are connected. Spoiler.
And Rick, what about your character, T? Because...
Which one?
Well, yes, exactly, because Helly is somehow in the company as well. Is she going to kind of blow the whistle on it?
Oh, look, a bird.
Oh,
Rather than give that away,
no.
can you talk? Can I think I'm right in saying? Yes, behave. The exec's there. He's going to direct her. When you're doing the two different characters, they play the in and the outie. Is it true that you sort of listen to different music to try and get into a slightly different frame of mind about how you approach it?
I do. I was really inspired by Patti Smith in particular when I was developing Helly R season 1, and I listened to a lot of the songs from Horses, her album that she's touring with right now. For the other part of my character, more sweeping orchestral music.
And that allows you to sort of remember what their motivation is and what they're trying to do there.
Yeah, it just like clicks in my head. It sounds a little bit different for either side.
There's something extraordinary about it. Like you said, you know, it felt like a play. I can't imagine what the pitch for this would have been like, because I devour it, I want to watch it, I want to talk to people about it, but I can't really explain it. So how does someone put that on a page that makes you go, oh, this would be great?
Well, I read this script that was sent to our production company as a spec script, you know, sort of like as a sample from Dan Erickson, who wrote it. And he was working for DoorDash or something at the time. He hadn't had anything produced, and we read it and thought it was amazing. So the script sort of spoke for itself in terms of the setup of what it was, which was the pilot episode. And the idea of this sort of sci-fi-ish kind of weird reality, but yet grounded in these sort of funny work relationships, this workplace comedy thing. And that sort of combo was, I think, really what sort of was the original pitch of it. And, you know, obviously there's a lot of unanswered questions and stuff, but it's sort of developed into these relationships on the show that people get invested in. But there's also the weirdness of it, too.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of white hallways
Yes.
and, you know, just sort of these sort of liminal spaces that people are sort of trapped in.
Well, that's one of the things about it. Stylistically, it's so amazing to watch and looks like nothing else I've ever seen.
And lots of running.
Running.
A lot of running.
Running down the corridors. That you had like a computer camera that you had to program to follow.
We had all kinds of things.
Yeah, that particular scene, we use something called the bolt arm, which is sort of a robotic arm that's, programmed and can repeat moves. And Adam it's very dangerous. Adam was, doing these shots, and once it's programmed, it can't be stopped.
Oh, wow.
So you have to, make sure that you know exactly what you're doing with it.
It's fine because I am a man of danger.
Yes.
It's very much in your wheelhouse.
Also, you're kind of like a robot actor.
I am kind of like a robot.
Yeah. He's so good. He's so precise.
Are you paid danger money? Because wasn't there also a fight scene in one of the corridors and you got smashed into the wall?
Yeah.
For real?
It was my fault, which
is that an insurance thing? You have to say that?
Where there's a claim, there's a blame.
I just can't let the sweet actor Dari that I was doing the fight with take any blame for it. It was my fault. But my head got slammed into a wall.
It was a concussion.
Yeah.
And the great thing about it was we used it in the show.
It was the
It's a bit like a bit of Severance. Yeah.
Well, Ben came up to me right after it happened, and he's like, I'm glad you're okay. But just so you know, it looked great.
Worth it, totally worth it.
That's commitment to the role.
Yeah.
How do you feel about not being in it, though, Ben? You're directing it, you're producing it, but is there elements of you that are thinking, God, I'd be itching to play one of these characters?
I am incredibly happy not to be in it. I am so happy to not have to worry about, being in front of the camera with this, because I think we have the most incredible cast, and I feel it's so well cast. And for me, as a producer and a director on the show, I'm just I have my hands full doing that. I love doing that. And, You know, I don't have to shave every day when I go to work. It's great.
But we think Ben should play a role in season 3.
Well, he played the robot, though, didn't you? The robot that comes out.
Mark Geller did the voice of that, which we won't even say where that is or when that happens,
No,
right?
well,
if there even is a robot. But I did do the remote control. I worked it on the remote control, and I did do one voice in the first season on just on the video screen.
But season 3, though, we can talk season 3. Do you guys know? Well, have you got any idea what's happening in season 3 yet?
Oh, look, a bird.
A lot of birds in here.
There is.
I know.
You know. Yeah. You know. So it took quite a long time, by the way. You kept us waiting between seasons 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. Pandemic, writer's strike.
I'm assuming you're not going to tell us anything, but can you tell us how long we're going to have to wait?
I can't tell you anything. And I would love to tell you how long you have to wait, but the goal is definitely not to wait 3 years between 2 and 3.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
For sure. We want to get it out as fast as possible, and we're in that process.
But Adam, you've got teenagers who now think you're cool because they've seen this, right?
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
You're
Maybe
fair
on the
to cool.
fair to middling. So have you had to keep stuff from them? Like if you take phone calls or you do anything like that, do you have to keep?
Yeah, we have, Ben and Dan and I are on Zoom sometimes, and in my house, my wife and kids actually care. They don't want to know stuff, so I have to do these Zooms in my closet.
Amazing.
Otherwise, the information leaks out. Yeah.
They'll be furious if you get it out. I think but that's the thing, though, that fans become so fervent about it.
Yeah.
That fan reaction, like the viral videos that have gone.
It's incredible. I mean, I've never had the experience where you put so much work into something, and the reaction coming back, the people are as invested as we have been in making it. That's incredible.
So we had that, you've seen this one, I think, which is where the guy puts the lyrics to the music. I mean, you've not seen this, Brit.
Doesn't even say Ben Stiller. You don't even know he directed this.
I mean, that is an extraordinary sort of impact, isn't it?
It's incredible, and like I said, everybody's so invested in it. And then the edits that they do, and these art projects, and
a lot of paintings and drawings. It's amazing.
And the attention that they pay to every single detail in the show. It's just wonderful because we know that everything that we're putting out there is going to, somehow pay off for the audience too. So.
I mean, I'm used to doing stuff and it just disappearing. Like, it's amazing having people actually pay attention to it.
You can't, mate. You can't leave it 3 years. I'm just trying to imagine how big Jamel's beard will be in 3 years' time. The moustache is going to need some serious.
It'll take some grooming. Some goat grooming.
Thank you all for popping in and seeing
this. Great talking to you. Thanks for doing the research.
Not being able to talk about any of it.
Yeah. That was really well done.
Both seasons of Severance are available now on Apple TV. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning. Hello there. We're discussing whether Chris could actually be a genuine gangster.
If you've watched Get Shorty, which is one of my favourite things that Chris has done, 3 series of it. I think we did 3 series. You played a gangster.
Yes, I'm very physically intimidating. I don't want people to get that because it really takes the shine off all the gags and stuff. But if you could see what's going on underneath.
I love how he's sitting like that, as he says, just how physically intimidating he is.
He famously romanced Unlucky in Love Kristen Wiig in Bridesmaids. He's played the lazy but likeable Roy in this breakout role in the IT Crowd. He played Miles in Get Shorty, one of my favourite things he's ever done.
And now Chris O'Dowd is treading the boards for a brand new show where he plays a troublemaker going home to Ireland in the 1980s. Must be a stretch.
I may know a couple of guys kind of like this, but it's a beautiful play.
Go on, tell
called
us.
The Brightening Air by Conor McPherson, who's written gorgeous other plays like Girl from the North Country and Lime Tree Bower and The Weir. And this has got some similarities to The Weir in that there is a lot of storytelling in it. It's set in the northwest of Ireland in 1981, as you said, Kat, and it's a kind of a decrepit farmhouse where there's a brother and sister living there, probably beyond the years that they should be living together, and it's all a little bit strange. And I come back and I have a shop and some cafes, and I think I am the God's gift. And I'm also going through a bit of a midlife crisis, maybe.
Okay.
And I kind of bring home a girl from one of the cafes that I may or may not be doing a line with, and all hell breaks loose, I suppose.
Is the girl your significant other? Do you have a significant other?
My wife is here at the house.
Oh.
Ooh. So he's trouble then. So you play a guy called Dermot. He's a bit of trouble, wears a leather jacket, big pile of keys.
Yes.
That type of thing.
I mean, that's literally it.
Yeah.
There is a leather jacket and a big pile of keys. He's what I would call, I suppose, a rapscallion. But he's under a spell, you know, that kind of feeling of, like, how do you know why you love somebody? And if you really love somebody, what is it? Is it some kind of elixir? Is it something from them?
Yeah.
Something that you need from yourself? And so this guy is either deluded or correct, and I suppose we'll find out.
It sounds like a really fun role.
It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful play. Ensemble piece, loads of other lovely actors in it, like Brian Gleeson and Sean McGinley and Rosie Sheehy. And it does speak to a completely tumultuous family when you see inheritance problems with houses and stuff. So kind of breaking up in your middle age and seeing where it takes you. But it's a beautiful play.
Excellent. And so how different is it to doing theatre and TV and film? Because I'm guessing you're on school run duty.
Yes, it's great for the hours. I mean, people don't talk about it enough, but the best thing about theatre is that you can, you know...
But you only get one shot, though.
You only get one shot, but nobody cares if, you know, you're going to do it again tomorrow.
Right.
Ah, that's interesting.
And nobody's on their phone. I feel like it's the last kind of art form where people can have to experience it without looking at their phone.
Because they put their phones away. Because even if you're going to the cinema or theatre, you sit and watch telly these days, you're often doing 3 or 4 things at the same time.
Or a gig or whatever, but you've got to be there when somebody's on stage. So
there's a vitality to it that must be fantastic.
Yes, because it's only going to happen in this particular night. Whatever happens is just going to happen in that night.
Will the kids come along and see it? Is it accessible?
I feel like I'll bring them along to show them the theatre, and I'll do some of my bits. I curse from time to time in it, so they'll be familiar with that, honestly. They won't be like, wait a minute, I didn't know Dad could curse. But I will bring them. I think that there might be one too many monologues about mysticism for their liking, but we'll see.
So you've come back from the States. Do they have American accents?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the little one. Because a lot of our time there, we were in lockdown and doing all of that.
Sure.
They've still got lots of Irish and Dawn's English and whatnot. So they sound, it's a mishmash. It'll be interesting to see where it goes in the next couple of years.
And how are they coping with being here? How are you guys coping with being here?
Lovely clouds, don't you? Lovely loads of clouds for a good 3-month period, isn't it? What you don't see that. You don't see that a lot in the outside world, but 3 months of clouds, it's exciting.
Yeah, and how long it takes to put coats on small people.
Oh, my God.
That takes forever.
I just feel like half of the house is coats. You know?
We're doing coats with
Joe. Nobody wants to wear.
Spring coats coming up with Joe Good a little bit later on.
Well, I'll be here. I'm not going to leave this sofa until I find out.
Can we talk about Small Town Big Story as well?
Yes, please.
Which I've been absolutely gripped to. It feels like, again, good excuse for you to be able to make something in Ireland.
Yeah, there was that. I had kind of been looking to do something in Ireland and I hadn't in a few years. And I wrote it in the middle of lockdown. I was in Toronto shooting a film and the family were with me. And we had that kind of real stay-at-home order where I was kind of bouncing off the walls and I started writing. I'm like, I want to get home and I want to get off this planet. And kind of between those two themes, this kind of show developed. This show kind of set in the northwest of Ireland about a big TV show like Game of Thrones that comes to film, but it's about Celts. And the producer of it is from this town and she has an axe to grind. So it's great crack. Great crack.
It's a brilliant show. I can't tell where it's going.
Yes, there's sort of aliens involved as well.
And Christina Hendricks.
Yes.
The wonderful Christina Hendricks from Mad Men and Paddy Considine. Terrific in it as well. We get the impression that maybe he had misbehaved in some regard in the woods on the night of the millennium. And so when Christina hunts him down again, we feel like she's going to really pull him up on some stuff that might be
unfinished business.
Yes, but it kind of develops into that something happened to them of a cosmic element, and we reveal that over the course of the series.
The excitement of that is great. Really, I'm fascinated. It's just lovely. We were looking at this earlier. We'd mentioned Bridesmaids on the way, and I think it was, where are you now? Sort of nearly 10, 12 years ago?
It must be. I think it was 2000.
Something like that.
Maybe.
2011. 2011.
Okay,
Is it time to revisit that? Chris. There's got to be. Where are they all now? What's happened?
We're doing
How
it.
many...
We're going to start it next week, yeah. God, look at Kat's face!
I was like a meerkat then. I literally popped up out my little hole and I was like, oh!
I'm going to play bridesmaid.
No, but I want to see it.
I know.
Like Kristen and Melissa,
So
like
funny.
they've got funny
they're brilliant.
bones.
Yeah.
How did you keep a straight
Even Dawn
face?
thought you were good in that.
I know. That's the one thing that she's like, I'd watch that again.
So surely it's time for... It's got to be right for the second one.
I wonder, I don't know what would happen to them. They're so funny, my God.
How much fun could you have?
And all of them, they're just so funny. Maya Rudolph, that scene at the very start where she's using the chip as a phallic symbol. I feel like that's all you need, really, at the start. You know where they're at.
That's how you go.
How lucky was I to work
Amazing.
with so
We
many
loved
great
it.
It was
people.
just brilliant.
As are we having you
Thank
pop
you.
in. Thank you so much for
Such a
coming.
pleasure. Thanks
really,
for having
really
me.
great to see you.
The Brightening Air opens at the Old Vic on the 10th of April. Tickets are on sale.
Thank you for
now.
visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
From the House of Commons to the gates of the scriptwriter's son's school, creator Jack Thorne is here now to tell us about the incredible reaction that the drama has had. Good morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations. It's so rare that something that's written so brilliantly, shot so beautifully, creates such a conversation amongst everybody. Doesn't matter where you're from, what your background is, so many people are talking about this show. Did you ever expect it to be that huge?
No, not to any degree.
No.
It's been overwhelming, to be honest. What I did know was that I was working with the most extraordinary group of people and that we'd made something that we were incredibly proud of. And Netflix were excited by it, and then they put it on and it's just exploded, and we're all sort of reeling from it.
I bet. It's a bit overwhelming, I'd imagine.
Yeah. And I'm not used to it. I've been writing TV for 20 years. I've been trying to write drama that has impact for 20 years, and then this show has just sort of slammed through many doors that I've wanted to be open for a long time.
You and Stephen have this extraordinary relationship, which is really, really palpable. Can I ask a question? Because, of course, as Kat said, it's beautifully shot, it's extraordinarily acted, it's so well written. What came first? Did the idea of doing a one-shot drama come before the content, or was it the content that Stephen had that then sort of lent itself to the one-shot drama?
So Stephen and Phil Barantini, our amazing director, made this film Boiling Point. And Plan B, which is Brad Pitt's company, brought Phil in to talk to them and said, what about trying to do something in the television space? What about trying to do a one-shot TV drama? And he said, oh, that could be really interesting. And he took it to Stephen, and Stephen said, I'd like to look at knife crime. And that was the starting point of all our conversations. And then, thankfully, he brought me into the mix, and I was like, yes, please, show me where to sign.
It's amazing, isn't it, how they all sort of complement each other so brilliantly.
And, like, right place, right time, too. How much did you know about toxic masculinity before you started writing, and how much did you then reveal the layers of the onion and suddenly understand more?
So when Stephen first talked to me about it, the one sort of stipulation he made was, I don't want this to be a drama that blames the parents.
Yes, which I think is really clever.
It's really important. And that thing of just going, this is not going to be about an alcoholic, abusive dad. This is not going to be about controlling mum. This is not going to be that sort of story. We want to look inside this all. But that then left an issue of how do we create this boy? And we wanted it to be that blame is diffuse, that it's not just as simple as going, it's this, it's that, it's the other. But we did need more than we had. And someone that worked with me, Mariella Johnson, said, I think you should look at incel culture. And I had some understanding of it and some, I'd read articles about it, but I hadn't really gone down those holes. And then I spent a long time in a lot of very strange places, looking at a lot of strange content. And the thing that surprised me was how attractive it was.
Which is so frightening.
It's so frightening. Yeah. And that thing of going, if I was a 13-year-old boy and I was told there is a reason why you feel unattractive, there's a reason why you feel isolated, there's a reason why you're not sure how to talk in certain situations, and that's because the world is against you. And the reason why the world is against you is because 80% of women are attracted to 20% of men, that this world is female-dominated, and you need to find ways to reset the balance. And the more of these videos I watched, the more convincing I found it. And that's when I started to work out how we could write Jamie.
I mean, you're a father yourself, of course.
Yes.
You know, we've all got boys. Like, my boys are sort of a bit older, your boys are not very far off.
Mine's
Jamie's age.
9 and 6, so I'm like 4 years out.
Yeah, my boy's almost 9.
Yes.
So I'm in exactly the same place. Exactly the same place.
And there will be parents who are watching it and undoubtedly have watched it, and it will be terrifying. I mean, it's up the anxiety levels for parents trying to navigate those things.
Yes.
There's a responsibility that comes with that, Jack, isn't there?
There is. And what we're not saying with this show is that there's loads and loads of Jamies out there, that there's, you know, that because your son is in his room and he's shut the door, that means that he's going to inflict harm on another person. We don't want to be a show that suggests that. Jamie is a product of a lot of different things, but at the same time, being aware of what your kid is consuming, being aware of what's out there, I think is really important. And it's awoken anxiety in me, and it's awoken conversations with my wife about how we handle all this and how we help Elliot through it all.
The fact that it's been talked about in government, the fact it's been talked about absolutely everywhere is testament to that.
Did that amazing speech too.
Yeah, Gareth Southgate, the Dimbleby lecturer. I asked the viewers for some questions for you.
Brilliant.
I'd like to share these for me. Sharon says, are we going to get a second series exploring Katie's story? And Kathy along that saying, the last episode, it feels like it's left it open for more. I know you're still reeling right now from the impact of this, but would the two of you be up for trying to do more if the opportunity was there?
I'd say 2 things to that. The first is, I don't think we're the right people to tell Katie's story.
Okay.
So I think there are other makers out there that could tell beautiful dramas about Katie or girls like Katie, and that those shows should be made. Our aim was to try and tell Jamie's story as fully as we possibly could. And maybe trying to tell her story would dilute that in some way, or maybe we would be inadequate to that task. The second thing in terms of a second series is I think Jamie's story is finished. I don't think there's anywhere more we can take Jamie. So I don't think there is a series 2. We'd love to explore the one-shot format in another way. We'd love to tell other stories with it, but I don't think a series 2 of Adolescence is quite right for us.
It's so interesting how you say Jamie's story is finished, but so many other little boys and little girls' stories are just beginning.
Yes.
Where would you like to see this going? What would you like to see the influence of this amazing drama?
I hope what this show does is it doesn't provide easy answers. It doesn't say, this is the way to solve this, this is the way to do that. I hope what it provokes is conversations on the sofa, conversations in classrooms, hopefully conversations in government. You know, when I was a kid, watching EastEnders with my mum and talking to her about what was on EastEnders that week, they were the best conversations we had. They were the best. They were the bits where we got inside what it is to be a human, you know, and what you... And those have been the best emails I've got about this too, has been, like, people saying, I've had conversations with my kid that I've never had before because of this show. And that is where I hope our sweet spot is, in creating conversation.
You've done exactly that. Anthony says this is one of the best series I've watched in a long time. Great acting, it was real, raw, emotional. The strong message was loud and clear. The ending was perfect. Susan, Adolescence is absolutely brilliant. A sensitive eye-opener for all. Thank you for everything. Jack, honestly, it is an extraordinary bit of drama. We've loved it, and we will continue to talk about it as well. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. You can watch Adolescence on Netflix now, and Owen Cooper, who plays Jamie, will be live on Thursday.
Can't wait to meet him as well.
He's amazing.
So much to talk to. Thanks for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
So good, Ricky and Lorraine are here. The minute you hear your two voices together, you're just like... What do you think when you look back at that? Do you remember the time and the place, or what was happening?
That's the funny thing about getting really old is that things that happened a long time ago. I was thinking about that suit. I was thinking, I remember buying that suit for that video, because the only suit I had. And my dad saying to me sometime, that suit's a bit done, son, isn't it? I got that for a video.
Yeah.
You know, but you remember all these little details about events and things that you know, it's amazing how much you remember of just small things, you know?
Yeah.
You were watching that, Lorraine, and your foot was tapping away.
Yes.
Even after all these years, those songs, they're such vivid, evocative, emotional songs, and you still get the same thrill hearing it.
I do. I mean, I love not any music, but I love music. Music will make me move. You know, I'll be in a supermarket and my kids will say, we can't dance in the supermarket. I can't help it. But when I hear these songs, it just fills me with a lot of joy, because they've brought me a lot of joy over many years now, and they still do. And I look forward to going out there and performing them every time we do.
Yeah, you did a podcast recently, and I was listening to you talking about it, and you were like, I just love getting up on stage, wearing what I want, doing what I want, singing how I want, dancing how I want.
Yeah.
And not just disappearing.
Absolutely. And as you get older, clearly, you know, especially for women, there's a huge pressure to kind of merge into the background, and it just never occurs to me to... I think, what would you wear at 60? Well, I'll wear whatever I want at 60, same as I wore whatever I wanted when I was 20.
Yeah.
And I think more and more women feel that way, and that can only be a great thing.
Yeah.
You've got the new album. We'll talk about that in a sec. You're going on tour as well, though. It's a theatre tour initially, Ricky.
Yes, it's quite complicated. We're going for a week of shows next week, which I've actually sold out. But they're theatre shows, so there's starts in Edinburgh, it finishes in London, various points in between. But the main tour that we're going to do is in September, October, and we'll be playing bigger arenas. And on that tour, we'll probably play everything that people want to hear, which I think is probably good news for people. You know?
Everyone will love it, but also you're playing Wembley again, first time in 35 years.
Yes.
So from my calculations, that was the year you got married.
Yes, it was.
There's a lot of things happened that
year. So could that be the wedding celebration that you had, the anniversary celebration?
Yeah, we'll do it at Wembley. You know,
with a small crowd of 18,000 people. What will that be like, though, sort of to do that, to be back there, sort of to recreate those moments?
Well, for us, it's been a really interesting journey, because the last 15 years we've been sort of creative. And I remember the first time we played back in London, we played at the Roundhouse and it was sold out. And it was such a thrill to play a sort of sold-out London show. And it's kind of grown over the years. We've been doing the Albert Hall, and that's a thrill in itself, just to play the Albert Hall. So to play at Wembley, I mean, I'm not sure... I just can't remember much about it, but I think it'll be...
I remember being very excited about Wembley and going from the stage all the way up to the furthest away seat in the auditorium and just thinking, I can't believe we're doing this. And it was a show, we did loads of stuff. Remember, we brought chips on and all that, and there was a lot going on. We did. It was very theatrical.
You've got your new album out, The Great Western Road, which I actually love the title track. That idea of where you don't know quite where you're going, where you're going to end up. What was the inspiration behind it?
It was these roads. Glasgow has I suppose every city has it, but Glasgow has these magnificent roads that go out east, north, and the Great Western Road is perhaps the most significant one, because it starts off right at the heart of the city. It's where we used to hang out. It's where Lorraine had a flat. It's where I used to get off the underground to go up to work, right at one end. And the other end is mystery, it's beauty, it's the wilderness,
Isn't
it's the
it
Highlands.
It is.
It is. And that's where some of our photographs were taken out in Loch Lomond.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely beautiful. And funnily enough, we were talking about getting married. We were married out in Loch Lomond. And our daughter was married out in Loch Lomond.
What a spot that is,
and
by the
it's
way.
so beautiful, you know.
What an amazing spot,
There's a lovely track, the single Late 88 on it as well. And Lorraine, it sort of becomes apparent that was such an important year for Deacon Blue, wasn't it?
It was. It was just the year where suddenly, after a while of kind of working away and things going slowly, suddenly you have a hit single. We had Real Gone Kid, and your life changes. And in those days, I don't know if it's the same now for young bands, but in those days, life really did change quite significantly. You went on top of the pops, and things were never quite the same again.
That's what being in this building reminds me of.
Because it used to be shot here, of course.
That's right.
When I came in, I thought, this is...
Do you remember who you were on with the first time you went on?
No, but No, I don't. But you know what I do remember? I remember standing at the bottom of the stairs, and I remember Morrissey standing at the top. Well, you know, it was all these people that were here.
Icons.
You know? And you never knew until the day you turned up.
That's right. But don't you think it's funny how your perception changes as you get older and how much you enjoy being in the moment as you get older too? Whereas when you're younger, you're always thinking of the next thing, the next number one, the next piece of success.
We never kind of took time to kind of enjoy it.
No.
Because you're all, and I was a frustrating character. I was always kind of annoyed about this, that, and the other. Just always in a bad mood about things. You know, just things that you just get over when you get to a proper age.
Yeah.
And I think now, looking back on it, I think actually, you know, it's a lovely thing to actually have the relationship with Dougie and Jim as well. Obviously, Graham's not there. Ewan decided to do something else. But that relationship, the core relationship between us and these guys...
The new guys.
And the new guys.
Which are like 15 years, aren't they?
Yeah.
But just the relationship that goes back all these years, with
Yeah.
Dougie and Jim especially, you know, the stuff that we've been through,
Yeah.
we're really proud of that, you know?
Yeah.
How does touring change now, though, Lorraine, compared to back when you were all first getting together in '88? What's the difference?
Well, we have a much more comfortable tour bus for a start.
Excellent.
That's one thing we insist on because we just couldn't do it otherwise. And we have such a good time together. It's actually the most fun part of your year. You go on tour with these guys who are all very funny and they're all very good company and we have a great time.
There's more women in our crew.
Yeah, we try and bring more women in, and also we're not leaving kids behind anymore.
Right.
Which is a real freedom.
Yeah.
You're not worrying, you're not feeling guilty, you're not working out, when am I going home, when are they coming out? They're all doing their own thing.
Will they come? Will the grandkids be able to come?
Well, the grandkids are in America.
The grandkids are in America, and their big obsession was when they saw the first video of the first single, they said, "Oh, great, Nani and Poppy are going to be able to sing Wheels on the Bus." That's
the benchmark.
Litmus test,
Yeah, no, they're hoping to come in the summer. They'll be over in Europe in the summer, so if we're doing some shows in the summer, which we are, they're hoping to be...
But our kids come to whenever they can.
Yeah, they bring their pals.
Yeah, they do.
But how cool to stand in the audience and watch your mum and your dad be like, cool, like...
Well, I think they're quite proud, but I think one of our daughters gets quite stressed because she says, when you do a song, and I think, I don't know if they like that one as much, and she hears people saying, oh, no, I don't like this. When I'm going to the bar, she really feels for us. And I'm like, try and not listen to that.
Yeah. Everyone has their own favourites, and that's
Exactly.
absolutely fine. The fact that they've come is the most important thing.
Yeah.
The fact you're here today is just really wonderful. Thank you for dropping by.
Thank you for having us.
It's brilliant.
We love
The
it.
album is brilliant.
Yeah, the new album, The Great Western Road, is out now, and you're in theatres, but I think that's sold out. But the arenas starting in November. September.
Yep.
Okay, brilliant.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you, baby.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
Brothers Ryan and Adam Thomas are taking over your Saturday nights with a brand new game show filled with wacky challenges and brilliant games for all the fam.
There's just one rule. Don't come last.
We've assembled 100 of Britain's best. It's the show where anyone can win. 100 everyday heroes play stupidly simple games.
If they drop this egg, then they are out of the competition.
Oh, Robbie's done it! With one golden rule. Don't come last. One person will take home £25,000. But to win it, they've got 99 to beat.
This happened!
What's going on?
Are you entertained?
Honestly.
And lucky for us, Ryan and Adam join us now.
As you just saw the llamas, I was like,
I'm in. Scratch his head, go, what am I watching here?
What is this?
Honestly.
You'll all be hooked, I guarantee you.
It looks absolutely bonkers. Tell us about it, right?
It is. It's basically 100 contestants. There's one simple rule, don't come last.
We have to do it like we do it on the show.
OK, don't come last.
There we go, that's our like slogan.
All our life. Are we on the right side?
So it's kind of Squid Game-esque, right? You got the Squid Game without the old. It's better than Squid Game.
I'm pointing it out there.
But without the old, you know.
Yeah,
it's going to be the best.
They live.
There is drama, and you think about it at the beginning, when there's 100 of them, they're all really like, you know, looking after each other, going, I'll help you out. As soon as it gets down to the final 10, things get a little bit different.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, they're all looking out for themselves because they know they're in reaching distance of the £25,000.
Big prize money there, isn't it? You would, wouldn't you?
They don't realise at the start because they're all just enjoying it.
Yeah.
But then when they get to that point where they go, oh, I could actually win this.
Yeah.
Everybody ramps it up a little bit, you know? It's just the tension's there, isn't it?
I suppose at the start it feels like quite a long way away, doesn't it? But then when you're down to the final 10, you're sort of looking around going, I think I can balance it.
Yeah.
What, so how many games are there? Because there's certain games where... Because you can't do this 100 times. You'd still be there now.
No, exactly. So this is what... So there's like over 70 games.
Yeah.
But there's also team games as well, which spices things up a little bit because, you know, you could be doing really well in the show, but then all of a sudden you're in a team, you've got to work together, and if you don't, then you're out. So it's quite intense.
Do they get quite emotional? Because obviously they spent a lot of time together, haven't they?
Exactly.
There's 100 people.
There's tears.
Yeah, there's a lot of tears shed, a lot of drama. As you can imagine, you know, it's all fun and games at the beginning of the show, but as the show goes on, you get closer to £25,000. You know, there's a lot going on. Yeah.
And for us, we're just sat in a box, like everyone at home, watching it going, what is going on? Like, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what the games are. They don't even tell us. And we just have to watch it like a viewer at home. It's bonkers.
So you don't know what's going to happen?
We have no idea.
That's fun.
Yeah, this is what I mean. We're sort of in the contestants' shoes as well, because we don't have any clue what's going to happen next. So.
And you can speak to them, I saw that. Like,
we can shout to them, and try and guide them along the way.
And this show is massive in other countries, isn't it?
Yes.
And you guys have brought it to the UK.
Yeah, well, we brought it to the UK. Yeah, well done, right?
They watched it. We need to buy this. Put it on television.
This is our show.
Well done, lads.
I'm so proud of myself. But yeah, I think it started off in Germany. And it has been all over, but we are the first host to host it in the UK. So it's just so exciting. And again, like, I feel like this show is so perfect for me and Ryan because between us, we've literally been in every TV game show, every reality show. And so we know what it feels like to be a contestant. So to be on the other side now as hosts, we can sort of, you know... we can
guide them a little bit.
Yeah,
we know the contestants all.
Can you guide us a little bit? Because you've brought along these.
Yeah.
Right,
do you know what? So just as well I love you two.
Yeah.
Is this one of the games?
This is one of the games from 99 to beat. This will be...
and we would really appreciate if you try this game out.
Yeah, so the premise of the game is you've got to try and balance the slinky.
What did you do weird today?
You've got to try and balance the slinky on your head, but you're not allowed to use your hand.
There's different techniques to this, as you'll see on Saturday night.
Right.
Okay. You get a lot of party games out of it, don't you? You get a lot of ideas.
This is what's so good about this show is you can play these games at home as well.
God, it's quite difficult.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a tactic to it, guys.
This
isn't it. No.
There's like 2 seconds where you're like, where is it?
There's a lot of people on the floor. Maybe you want to try again on the floor.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
Now you can imagine 100 contestants trying this.
It's quite painful on the nose.
Yeah, but you don't want it to hit you in the face.
Yeah.
How would you do? How would you do that?
Well, this is what I mean. It takes quite a while for the contestants.
We'd be straight out.
I know. I'd be
like 97 right now.
But it doesn't matter. This is what's so good about the show. It doesn't matter if you do it first. It's just don't come last.
Wish I would do.
I speak to Josie on the phone. All we do all night is laugh.
Did you two know each other from a romantic trip to Italy?
I love him. I absolutely love him. I was so happy when you two were up for this because I thought, your brother, all three of you. I mean, I know Scott's not in it, but all three of you.
Yeah, he didn't get the cut.
Sorry, Scott.
He did come last.
Yeah. He is actually in it, though. He is actually in it. He is in it.
Yeah, he's in.
We couldn't do it without him.
You're just the best family ever.
Was that a bit of an awkward call when they got the call again? And you were like, what about Scott?
It was an awkward conversation.
They said he's too good looking. I went, all right,
yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
I get it now.
But it is a family affair. You know, your family are sort of, you're such a sort of showbiz family. So, I mean, basically, you've taken over Waterloo Road, right? So it's basically just you.
Well, again...
Who's not in Waterloo Road?
But this is what I mean. Again, I get to go and work at Waterloo Road with my family, with his daughter, with my son. And again, the fact that we get to do a show together like this as brothers, like, it's the best job in the world when you get to work with your family.
Yeah. And Roy, I've got to ask you, how does it feel? You're going to be returning to the cobbles.
I know. Where it all started, it was actually my first day yesterday.
You were
the first time in nearly 10 years, I stepped back on them cobbles and I was in the Rovers all day yesterday. And it was a real moment. As they opened the gate, the security man said to me, welcome home, and I nearly started crying because I was 16 when I started there, and I wouldn't be where I was now if it wasn't for that show. And the people is what I missed, and I get to see all the same makeup artists, all the same crew, the cast, and it's home, and it was so lovely. And I've got a few more days next week as well, so I'm looking forward to it.
And it was your TV mum, Sally, that actually requested you back, wasn't it?
Sue rang me. Sue rang me. She said to me, would you come back from Exit Storyline? And when Mother says you've got to do something, you do it.
It's not our real mum.
No, not real mum. But she might as well be.
It feels like it. It's a long time, wasn't it, you were on there?
Yeah, 16 years. And
16
years.
I
spent all my childhood there, went into being a man, had a child, and, you know, all these things. And now I've got, you know, 3 beautiful children. And I'm here now with Adam. We're promoting 99 to Beat. It's a weird world, isn't it?
I'm so proud of you two. You know that? I'm really, really proud of you.
You bring a lovely energy wherever you walk into a room.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
You light it up.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
99 to Beat airs tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.
So juicy, yes. Ollie and Robert do join us now. Oh, brilliant storyline. What a storyline to start off with. Absolutely excellent. Oz, can you start by telling us a little bit about your character there?
Yeah, so Flynn comes from a very different world than Holby in the world of the show. And he sort of comes crashing into that, pun intended, in the first episode. He's involved in an accident. He comes in as a patient and then takes over. And seeks to sort of change the place from within.
He's ex-Army Special Forces?
He's a Special Forces medical officer, yeah, which is a sort of relatively new part of UK Special Forces. I think it's only been a thing for about 9 years. There are about 10 in the country. They're fully badged Special Forces members and doctors, so it's quite a unique and high skill set.
Did you get to spend time with them?
I did, yeah. I worked with a couple of companies, Andata Performance and Dark Prism, all run by ex-Special Forces operators. And
what a brilliant experience.
It was amazing, and I really milked it as well. I mean, I did all the fun stuff, all the weapons handling and kicking doors in, night vision and all that stuff. But we did a lot of physical training, and I got to just ask them very frank questions about their relationship to death, or how they compartmentalise going away, leaving families behind, things that were really relevant to Flynn, both in the first episode, but in the series going ahead, how he operates as a clinician, how he treats his family, how he treats his colleagues, all kind of stem from that jumping off point, you know.
And Robert, your character, Russell, is actually Flynn's father-in-law. And there's a bit of a juicy storyline here. And
Yes.
I always think, would I say something or would I not say something? Can you just explain the storyline for us?
Well, I mean, he realises that his son-in-law has been treating his daughter unfairly and worse. And yes, the question is, when does he confront him with it?
Would you say? I always ask myself this question because, you know, you've been having an affair in the show. The lady's come in. She has passed away. I haven't given anything away. That was in last week's episode. She's passed away. But you were having an affair with this lady. And you only know because you've come in from the car accident.
The perfume.
So
it's in the jacket.
Yeah, would you say anything?
Well, not in that moment. I mean, he deduces from what he sees, but he takes his opportunity when Flynn is lying there to lay down the law.
And this is a whole new world for you because you don't watch medical dramas. You sort of haven't watched any documentaries about it. So have you gone, because there's that kind of classic chief surgeon vibe that's like quite detached and quite matter of fact. Have you gone down that route?
Well, I mean, surgeons I think have to be detached. I mean, I don't want a surgeon to feel my pain. I want a surgeon just to get on and do it.
Yeah.
And
don't want any empathy at all.
Well, empathy, I think there's a difference between empathy and compassion. I mean, you can be compassionate about the case, the needs, the desires for people to get better.
Yeah.
Of course they do. But I think empathy is more about feeling your pain, and I think it's an overrated quality in some ways. It can get in the way of your work.
Yeah.
We've got a little clip of your work in action, actually. Let's play it.
Ah, there you are, Dr. Byron. I think you should know that I've been fielding calls from ward managers all morning, complaining that the ED are sending out patients when there are no beds.
Yeah, I told the site team this morning as well.
And they were told that the patients would have to queue in the ward corridors?
I mean, if they can queue on corridors down here, I don't see why they can't
Of course you don't. You see, the thing is that the wards already have more patients than they can staff safely. I put my reputation on the line backing you for this job. I'm sure you'll want to create the best possible impression.
Oh,
No
Robert.
empathy there at all.
You really suit playing a surgeon,
It's a
but
swine.
is he nice or is he not nice?
Oh, he thinks he's marvellous, yes. And he's a very special surgeon in the sense that he's really good at his job. So, yes, of course, his own character, he's not necessarily aware of his own character. He's also capable of denying anything he's done so long as there's no evidence and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. All sorts of things happen in the next 12 weeks, which are complicated and interesting, I think.
And the way Casualty works is it's 12 weeks, isn't it? You have a whole kind of arc in 12, almost like a series in 12, kind of a mini-series.
Yes, it's not it's been going nearly 40 years, and it's not an amorphous mass of those programmes. They do chunk them up into seasons or series or box sets, whatever you want to call it. And so it means that there is a particular story that's going on in that time.
And Robert, how were you, did you spend a day in the life of a surgeon to learn all the medical terminology? Or?
Well, I take most of my research from the script. But on the other hand, it is really good to know how people are around the table. I went to St Mary's Paddington and met a surgeon there called George Rees, a brilliant man, who was also on set with us and was able to answer all the questions and tell us that we weren't holding the
Don't cut it
right
there,
and stuff like that. But also he's really interesting about the dynamic and the hierarchies and the fact that people who are beholden to the surgeon don't necessarily criticise them because they need preferment later in their career. All that sort of stuff is really useful.
Ollie, you had quite a lot of things to learn, didn't you? Like quite a lot of complex medical terms as well as the script.
Yeah, it's endless. Thankfully, we have a pretty extensive team of professionals on the floor at any given moment. There are always real medics around, which is obviously essential. I'm starting to get used to it. It's more frenetic, and the surgery is quite nice and calm, isn't it? Whereas the ED...
Your brain must be fried.
Yeah, like a little bit.
I just want to ask you a question. How do you feel about people that actually work in, you've been playing the role. How do you feel about these people that actually do this for a living, work in the casualty unit for a living every day? How do you feel now after playing this role about them?
Well, it's an extraordinary role within society, and I think going into the show as an actor, you feel quite a weight of responsibility to represent them well, but also not separate them from the fact that they have complex interpersonal relationships that cause chaos. I have a father-in-law who's leveraging a secret he has over me to his benefit and making my life a nightmare as a result. And, I'm not saying every NHS doctor goes through the same, but they're real people with real life problems. Yeah.
Thanks, you two.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Ollie. Thank you very much.
So
Good
much.
luck.
You can catch Casualty 8:35 tomorrow.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
Next guest is a global music, film and TV star.
You'll remember her as the formidable Wilhelmina Slater in Ugly Betty. She also kept the ladies in check as Renee on Desperate Housewives. And she, of course, broke boundaries as the first ever black woman to be crowned Miss America.
But Vanessa Williams is strutting from the screen to the stage as she brings the infamous Miranda Priestley to the West End in the new production of The Devil Wears Prada.
By all means, introduce me at a global pace. You know how
I love it. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's so nice.
I'm really
to see
not
you.
that evil. You've given me so many lines to you.
But you do it so
You really
well.
do.
And I think everybody remembers the movie with such affection as well.
Yeah.
How have the audiences been while you've been here?
The audiences have been amazing. Standing ovations, selling out since we opened. We just started previews October 24th, and it's just been incredible. And the scope of my fan base, it startles me every time I come out and I do my autographs.
At the stage door.
Taiwan, China, Japan, Brazil, Poland, Russia, Ireland, all over the United States. And so I'm always like, where are you from? What do you watch me in? Some people, Hannah Montana.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The Odyssey, which I did back in 1996.
Love that.
Played Electra. And, of course, Ugly Betty and Desperate Housewives. But it's been incredible.
Wow.
But now, of course, Miranda Priestley is such a formidable, wonderful character, Vanessa. I bet you just relish the opportunity to play her.
I'm loving it. Of course, there were so many comparisons. What are you going to do? Meryl did it so well.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
And it's Meryl.
And it's Meryl, yes. But, it's a different medium. You're on stage. stage. You have to burst into song. You have to project. You have to use up all of that space. And I'm loving what we've created. My co-stars are incredible. Amy DiBartolomeo just got a nomination for Olivier, so we got our fingers crossed that she's going to be amazing.
And of course, Elton John wrote the music.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he wrote another song for us, just
for fun.
Yeah.
How was it performing for him as well? Because did he workshop the music with you and stuff?
We did. Well, it opened years ago in Chicago. They did a first production, and this is a whole new production. Jerry Mitchell came in and was our director and choreographer. It's a whole new team. And so the first time we actually did a read-through for Elton was last January for 2 weeks. Wow. And he loved it.
Great.
And then we went to work and started doing our rehearsals. And we started in May, then went to Plymouth in June. And we opened there, July, August. And then had a month break. And then we came here and started working here.
But by the way, you're a big Elton fan, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you've said that quite casually. What's it like performing and singing for Elton John when it's the music that he's helped create?
Watching him get so excited, that's what turns us all on. Yeah. It's almost like pleasing your dad, like, oh my God, he loves it. And having him be not only involved in the creative part, but seeing just another production and his vision, like spoken through us, is titillating.
And is it true you got to go to his house for dinner?
I did.
Oh, my days.
What did he serve you?
Yes.
Fish.
Love it.
And he does love to connect. He collects salt and pepper shakers, so we all had our own individual salt and pepper shakers.
Is that right?
Yeah. But of course, the house was spectacular, filled with candles and flowers, and David's lovely. Just it was just
what you wanted it to be.
Absolutely.
But we've also got to talk about Anna Wintour, because essentially that's who Miranda is based on as well. Have you taken elements of Anna? Have you ever met Anna?
Well, there you are there.
That was at opening night. Yes, I've met her. I've gone to the Met Gala, which we recreate on the show, and I've actually spoken to a couple of people that have worked for her. Oh. So it was nice to get those kind of. I met one of the women who got the jet. There's that scene in the movie that we do
Andy
here.
Gets the plane.
She's in Miami. She wants to get home. There's a hurricane and nobody's flying. And I was at a luncheon, and I was sitting a one seat away from this wonderful woman, Stephanie Horton, and she said, "I'm the one who got the jet." I go, "Sit down right here. Tell me all about it." And she said when she got the jet, it was not in Miami. They were having an event in Aspen. Yeah. Snow. Whiteout conditions, nobody was flying, and she said, "I want to get home." So it was up to her to get. So she called Aaron Lauder from Estee Lauder. Of course. Aaron's plane was in Vail, so she had to get a car in whiteout conditions from Aspen to Vail to get Aaron's jet to fly her back home.
That's the type of power Ben Shephard.
Yeah,
there you
that's
go.
what I will.
He's literally like, get me a cab, get me a push bike home.
That's the sort of PA you want, right? Find a way or make a way. Whatever it is, she had that power.
Yeah.
And is she warmer and friendlier in real life, Anna Wintour?
She loves theater, yeah. And what we do in our show is we do it in 2005 when the movie came out. So that's when publications had the power and the money and the budgets. So that's why they could wield their budgets and their money so well. So that's why it's kind of like a little capsule of what it was back. Because nowadays it's just not the same. No.
No.
Yeah.
Now you were always kind of going to be a Broadway star, because you'd always been a singer and a dancer and an actress, and your parents were both music teachers.
Yeah.
But you won Miss America too.
Yeah, what is it now? 42 years ago?
42, yeah,
42 years ago. Yeah, 83.
The first black woman to win. That must have been
Look at you there.
Jeez.
That's just... What do you
20
think?
years old.
So there's an interesting question. What does Vanessa now... What would you say to Vanessa back then?
Oh, God. I see, as a mother of 4, and seeing my kids go through, my kids are all adults now, but what I had to go through at 20 years old is astounding. And I am so happy that I had parents that believed in me and were my safe space. I had a community that was always there for me. And I don't have the social media that... Yes. I mean, even though my scandal was a huge worldwide thing, the social media now is so immediate and so personal. And we've been dealing with some of these issues even within our cast. Like I said, you got to let the noise go. Do not respond to every person who's going to be, you know, messaging you and making a comment. They don't know who you are.
We should explain, though, your scandal, of course,
was huge.
Was huge. Just to explain, because some of our viewers might not know what it was.
I'm actually doing a documentary about it.
Yeah, amazing. I love the fact you're taking the power back to that as well.
Can you explain what happened?
Yeah. Well, I was a junior, going into my junior year at Syracuse. And I was a musical theater major. And so won Miss America just because I needed the scholarship money. Had no idea I was going to win. I was supposed to come to London my junior year abroad and was ready to go in September. And of course, my life changed and I became famous and had an amazing time as Miss America. I mean, you know, invited the presidents, the White House, and performed all over the United States. But I had worked a few summers before as a makeup artist in a photo studio. The guy who was a photo studio photographer said, you know what, can you do some nude pictures for me? No one will ever see them. So never signed a contract, never signed a release. So when I became famous, he started trying to peddle the pictures. And funnily enough, Hugh Hefner from Playboy said, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to ruin her life. And also, there is no release, so no.
Because he had no right to sell.
No right, but he went to Penthouse magazine, Bob Guccione at the time, and he was like, sure. So these photos were I had 6 more weeks to go in my reign. And again, I've written a book about this. This is just the short version. But the pictures were made public, and I had a few weeks to decide whether they're going to take my crown, and I decided to resign and get on with my life. I tried to fight it with a lawsuit, and of course they had a huge team, and my parents were lovely enough to, you know, try to back me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to move on with my life. Forget this. And so I dropped the lawsuit and made my way through the business. And it took me 10 years to get from what I want to do on stage up until...
But you've had the most prolific career as well. I mean, like, people remember your role in Ugly Betty too.
Yeah.
Like, people love that show so much. Do you guys still stay in touch if they've been to see the show?
America just came last month.
Did she?
Yeah. She came last month.
Did she get married at your house?
She did get married at my house.
I mean, that's quite a generous thing to do.
So I usually had these big parties for, like, summertime for the cast party, and they would bring kids, bring dogs, everyone's invited.
Oh.
And
she brought the congregation.
Yeah. And when she told me that she was engaged, I said, you know, my house is always available. And so she had a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. Judith Light was the officiant.
Celebrant,
and had the whole crew there.
Look at the two of you. It'll be lovely because Ugly Betty was such a moment in time. It was such a special show. And the fans of that show that are coming to see you at the stage door from all over the world will love the fact that you're all still so connected.
Yeah. Michael Urie's, they just did a new a podcast, so I'll be on that pretty soon too. Yeah. And also Desperate Housewives.
Yes.
Terry's daughter, Terry Hatcher's daughter just came last week as well. She's coming soon. So, you know, when you work with people on a daily basis, you create bonds.
You do.
Yeah, it's family.
Sure.
And you've got an exclusive as well, by the way, I think, for us about your run.
I just decided to extend my October 18th. I'll be in
all the way through.
We have to
in
go.
Pride.
We are going to come and see you.
Come and see you.
Yes.
That sounds amazing. Thank you so much for coming in today.
No
We're not done with you yet, though. We're going to be forcing you to do more.
Yes, you've got to do a bit of fashion.
You've got to sing for your supper.
I love fashion.
Thank you so much for joining us, Professor. It was lovely having you here. Tickets for the Devil Wears Prada at the Dominion Theatre in London's West End are on sale.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
Oh, I was up so late watching as many episodes. In the end, Annie turned around to me, my wife turned around to me, you've got to go to sleep at some point.
Turn it off.
Just gripped. Julie Graham joined us now. Julie, lovely to see you.
And you.
We are so invested already.
Oh, good.
I know it lands on Sunday, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
On BBC.
Yeah.
Just explain a little bit about This City Is Ours, the Scouse Sopranos.
Well, yeah, that's what they're calling it. I mean, that's a very flattering comparison. It's a big, sprawling story about, at the heart of it is family. It's about succession, it's about love, it's about betrayal, it's about grief. And you've got these two stories running in parallel alongside each other. So you've got the Phelan family, or the head of this organised crime family, Ronnie and I play Elaine, and Sean Bean plays Ronnie. And we're kind of thinking of stepping back and who's going to take over. Elaine wants her son to take over. And Ronnie's right-hand man, Michael, Ronnie wants him to take over. In the meantime, Michael has fallen in love for the first time. He's trying for a child through IVF. So there's this kind of parallel love story running through it as well, which is really strong and beautiful and tender. So there's a kind of real juxtaposition between this kind of tender love story and this kind of fight for succession and who's going to be crowned king and who's going to take over the family business. And the women are very strong in it, which is unusual for a crime drama. I mean, I'm the kind of matriarchal character.
It's a brilliant character.
And then you've got this character, Rachel, who wants to come up the ranks and kind of run all the business side of it. And then you've got Darcy Shaw, who plays Melissa, my daughter-in-law, who's kind of in the background manipulating things. You've got Saoirse, I mean, who's amazing, Monica Jackson. And she plays a real kind of shady character. You don't know where she's going to go. She's like a little time bomb.
Yes.
And she goes off big time, and it's great. It's just all very kind of Shakespearean.
It's exactly that. It's bubbling, and there's tension, and as you say, the juxtaposition of the love story. You can see Michael falling in love and what that means.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Sean Bean, the amazing Sean Bean.
The Bean.
I mean, and is that how he's dubbed the Bean?
We called him the Bean. I mean,
we gave him a bean.
We did give him a bean.
We gave him a bean.
Here. It felt like there's something so extraordinary about watching Sean Bean do anything.
Yeah.
And that the head of a crime family, he just wears that so perfectly.
Yeah, he's mesmerising to act with, actually. He's like kind of a bit of a snake charmer. I mean, sometimes you kind of forget. You think, oh, shit, I've got to do my
It's a lie, yeah.
And, but he's just the most generous and lovely, but really shy person as well. So he's a kind of real... he's a very complex person, but he's just the most amazing person to be around. He's incredibly collaborative. He's very shy.
Yeah.
There's not much he can't do
well,
other than...
I was going to say, snake charmer, snake hips. Does he have both of those things going on? Can he dance? Because there is a moment...
There's a wonderful
in the
moment.
show where it's House of Bamboo, Andy Williams' House of Bamboo, and you all stand up together.
Yeah.
And it's like a version of almost line dancing, isn't it, a little bit?
Yeah, it's line dancing. It's their dance. That's what they do as a family. They all get together at christenings and weddings and all that sort of stuff, and it's what bonds them.
You can tell.
The whole family know how to do it, and it was great fun to learn. I think half the actors loved doing it and half the actors didn't like doing it, but I was straight up for it because I loved dancing.
How did Sean get on?
He was slightly more slow to learn the dance, put it that way.
OK.
It wasn't his natural habitat.
Do you know what?
But he gave it a good go and he was wonderful.
But there's that lovely thing about it where you sense that once you're in the family, this crime family, you learn to do the dance, you do it together. That's their way of sort of just showing everybody else at the christening, this is us, this is who we are.
Yeah.
It's a really brilliant theme.
Yeah, it was great fun to do. It was like, you know, usually when you do take after take after take, people say, oh, yeah, we're going to go again, and you think, oh, have you not got that yet? But every time they said we're going again, I was like, yes, let's do it.
Well, and then also you ended up spending time in Marbella as well, so it was like being on a holiday.
Yeah, we spent the first 5-6 weeks filming in Spain. It was a great bonding experience for everyone, because I didn't really know any of the actors. So we all got to we were all staying together, we were all hanging out.
And you didn't know what happens in the end as well. That's how tightly guarded the end was too.
We didn't have the last script.
So
and in fact, when we got the script, we all quickly fast-forwarded to see if we were still alive.
In case there's a season 2.
Well, it's very, very tricky being on that show. No one's safe.
No one is safe. That's what's so gripping about it. Julie, thank you so much for popping in and sharing a little bit about it.
Yeah, This City starts this Sunday, the 23rd of March at 9 p.m. on BBC One. And if you want to watch it all in one go, like him here, the whole series drops the same day on BBC iPlayer.
And definitely look out
It's so good.
for the dance scene when Sean goes the wrong way and everyone's going one way.
I didn't see it.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
Next guest began his career as a dancer, but that was just the beginning. Of course, he's worked on the nation's biggest musicals, become a choreographer, director, best-selling author, and where we know and love him best as the judge on Strictly Come Dancing. But Craig, isn't stopping there. He's a talented singer too. After recently releasing his debut album, Revelations, he's heading out on tour for a string of fabulous nights across the country. It's lovely to have you with us now. Post-gnawing on the amazing pork crusty roll.
Yeah, that was delicious. It really was.
Delicious.
It was gorgeous. I might consider making that myself.
You must do.
When I finally get a kitchen, darling. I'm in the middle of Renault's tonight, man.
I mean, seriously, it is, right?
Seriously, yeah. Pretty bad.
Not easy. So you're going to go off on tour?
I am. It's called Revelations, and it's on the back of my album, which my mum, wanted me to make. And I thought, I've never done one, so I thought I'd better do one. Done it before I'm 60. So I'm 60 now, sadly.
Congratulations.
Which is great, thank you very much. And then I thought, I'll take it out on the road. And actually, it's a compilation of a lot of women's songs that I played before, because I played Miss Hannigan, of course.
Yes.
I've been in The Wizard of Oz and played,
Dorothy?
The Wicked Witch of the West. Well, I would have liked Dorothy, darling. That'd be an alarming scenario, wouldn't it? But it's all very character-driven, all of the songs and stuff that I sing. But it is a delve into my life as a musician, really, because that's how I started. Contemplating even dancing. And it started with the recorder, bizarrely, which a lot of people start.
All the kids start
But you
there.
may laugh, Kat Deeley, you may laugh, but I did play the recorder at Sydney Opera House.
Really?
It's a proper... We had a proper consort of recorders, and there were 7 different ones.
How old were
I was
you?
lead desk hand. I was 11 and 12, darling.
I thought he was going to say 52.
No.
London's burning.
I might be getting it out in my tour.
Really?
The tour is full of, weird and wonderful things, great songs, obviously. Maybe a little bit of dancing, a little bit of Shirley Bassey, I've got it on my sleeve, a little bit of Ursula, from The Little Mermaid. Just all mad sort of characters that I played over the years, and I just wanted to put something together that was really personal to me, and I want it to be a little bit like we are.
Yeah.
You come to the theatre and it feels like you're just coming to have a cocktail party with me at my house. So I won't have my judging paddles, and I won't have my judge's hat on, and I'm going to be just me, and it's going to be a complete, calm delight for me.
But the audience, of course, can bring their judging panels, because they're now going to be judging you, Craig.
I'm sure they will, my love, but they'll get a chance because I'll be doing a Q&A. And I'm hoping that people ask me the hardest questions.
Yeah, so you're literally going to open up the floor to the audience that come in and say anything you want to ask, I will answer.
And they can do it through texting. And they'll text my lovely pianist, Ben Goddard, who's gorgeous, and we're doing a couple of duets together, so it's not just me and Shirley Bassey and Ursula. It's going to be Ben as well. And I'm accepting anything. I will answer any question I'm asked, whether it's on Strictly, my personal life, anything. I don't care.
Wow. And are you telling a few showbiz stories along the way?
I'm going to be telling a lot of showbiz stories, a lot of Strictly backstage
Can you give us a
goss.
soup song?
Of course. Well, what is Shirley Ballas really like? I'll be delving into that. I'll be delving into why Bruno left.
Yes.
No one knows that, do they? Oh, well, it might have been for money.
I think I bumped into him in the car park at CBS.
But I love him. I did a fabulous ITV show with him.
You did a travel show
where we
together,
travelled
didn't you?
around, and it was spectacular. I loved every minute of it, apart from all the hoo-has of the hotels, when his room wasn't right or wasn't big enough, or I got a better room, that it all turned a bit, how's your mother then?
Have you had, so obviously he now is on Britain's Got Talent as one of the judges there. Do you ever have a judge off and talk about who could be the most outrageous? I mean, how does that go, Craig?
I don't often fall off my chair. And I don't often, beat around the bush. I'm normally, as a judge, as you all know, I'm very direct and down the line.
But except, though, you have become a little bit more kind of tempered.
Well, I have to say...
in your commenting.
Yeah, I think it's...
Is that an age thing, or
no,
is it...
I think it's the sign of the times. 20 years ago, when Strictly started, you can pretty much say whatever you really, truly thought, which is absolutely fine, but that could be misconstrued as abuse now, you know, if you're telling someone the truth about their dancing. Of course, there's celebrities who are extremely famous for being absolutely incredible, and I get that, but they're in the world of dance, and that's why they're there to learn to dance. So my job, I've always respected, is to be honest with them and tell them the truth. Now, some people can't deal with that, and some people take offence to hearing the truth as well. But I think it's all about delivery. So I think I try nowadays not to be woke or anything like that. I still tell the truth about the dancing because I think that will help them progress further. But I now pepper it with a little bit of positivity.
Which is never a bad thing.
Well, I think that's good. Look, I'm not there as the teacher, and I've always said that. I'm not there to love, nurture, embrace, and help them on their journey. That is not my thing. My thing, I've got 30 seconds to talk about a dance. I like to tell them what's wrong with it so they can go away and come back next week a better person.
So when you see Ola Jordan, who is a dancer from Strictly, married to James, of course, come out and say, oh, Strictly needs a new judge, it needs to be spiced up a little bit. Do you think there's a reason it's not quite as spicy as it was, and actually it's a reflection of the sign of the times?
Well, I think it is a reflection of the sign of the times, and you know, it's a really difficult job to be able to, especially as presenters, as we all are, you know, when we're on live television, to say what you think, but you always also have to second-guess what other people might misconstrue it as. You know, and I think that is always difficult. So, yes, you do have to mind your P's and Q's. You know, you can't swear. We don't talk about religion. I don't talk about hair, makeup or anything like that. I just try and talk about the dance. But as soon as you start giving critique, you do have to think, are they going to take that too personally?
How's it going to land?
Except though, everybody does love you so much.
Well, I'm not going to change that part of it. James and Ola Jordan just want my job, clearly. You know, so good luck to them getting it, darling, because I ain't going anywhere.
Right.
I'm staying right on there.
That's kind of what we want to hear, because you've been with it since the beginning.
Yeah.
You're not
created
going
it. You know, that's the thing. And it's gone to 63 countries worldwide, which is extraordinary when you think about it. I mean, I've just literally come back from Australia filming Dance with the Stars over there, which was great fun. Absolutely loved that. Australia is out there compared to BBC. Yeah, you can sort of...
You can be a little bit more
You can let your hair down. I was shocked. I was literally shocked because I've been brought up by the BBC where one sits there and holds paddles from 1 to 4, minding my P's and Q's, but they totally just go for it. It's quite interesting, actually, but I really loved it. It was a great sort of breath of fresh air in that way. But I think the series itself is doing brilliantly here in this country. Yeah. And it's just so great.
As well, it does brilliantly.
We need to see you both on there. Come on. I hope you're coming to my Revelations.
We'd love to.
Are we allowed to
It's going to be so much fun.
we
I
ask
want
a
it to be
question?
uplifting.
I'm composing the questions already.
Yeah.
Let's
get really
you can
deep
just
and personal.
text them in
Yes,
from
we
wherever
can.
you are. I'll send you the number. Oh, here's one from Kat.
Again.
She's not in today, no. She's having a bar. Craig, thank you.
Thank
I've
you.
loved it.
Lovely
Thank
to
you
see
so
you.
much.
Craig's Revelations tour begins on the 4th of April and tickets are on sale now.
Questions about anything? He'll take
anything.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.